You're back. You're back.
Okay.
Back. Yep.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
There's nobody out there anyway.
Okay.
What do you mean? I got 4 people out here. Good morning, everybody.
It's Monday morning.
Monday morning, June 3rd. Welcome to everyone. This is the Morning Rose. Welcome to everyone in Macon, Georgia, and everyone else through the World Wide Web. You're live from the Nut House. You're watching the Morning Rose live from the Nut House. This is DB with Irv and Ed making karaoke binder.
Welcome, everybody. I want to welcome DS Photo Guy, Edward Mampa. We got
Funky
Willow and Soul Man 4.
Yes.
Welcome all.
Yes. Thank
Wow.
you for entering a brand new month here with us on the Morning Roast. It's 8:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon, Georgia. It's 69 degrees and partly cloudy with a chance of showers. It's with a high of 86 degrees and a low of 69 degrees. So don't forget to bring your umbrella, L-A-A-A.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I remember I was working when we were living in Brooklyn. I used to work at Almac Hardware.
Uh-huh.
And this African guy comes in and he starts asking me, he goes, "You have umbrella? And I'm like, what the hell is that?
Oh.
And he's getting frustrated with me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, umbrella. I said, you go rain. I said, oh, umbrella. Can't speak the language, but they, Oh, Soul Man 4 is Newt Collier. Welcome, Newt. What's going on? I just got your message. We're going to be talking about that in a moment. I actually have that up. Let me do it now. Might as well, right?
Okay.
Newt's talking about Jerry Jenkins Walk of Fame. And it's going to be a stone. Johnny Jenkins Walk of Fame stone will be placed June 21st at 7 p.m. at the Douglas Theater.
Okay.
And I guess you're going to pay $15 and get some kind of entertainment.
Wow, okay.
I mean, I'm hoping, you know.
Yeah.
Go there and watch a stone be put up.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be music. And
Yes.
Is that right, Newt? Is there going to be music? And see what he says on that.
Okay, I haven't received. So Soul Man 4 is Newt Collier. That's all I know right now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But
So
it's nice to see you again, or at least hear from you again, Newt. I'm glad you're on a chat room. You know, stay for the whole show if you can.
I want to say hello to my nephew Jerry.
All right.
Yeah, Jerry. What do you call
Jerry
yourself?
North?
No, he's my brother Edward Mampa's youngest son. Oh well, he's one of the sons. It's like the third son in or second son in. Anyway, he's a great kid. The Rolling Stones will be there. Yeah, right. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, my nephew.
Yeah, your nephew.
Yeah, he's a comedian. Besides,
Jerry.
you know, besides me, you know, he's a comedian. He's a real professional. He gets
Okay.
up in front of people.
That's
It's pretty
good.
cool. Maybe one day we'll have if you can make a video of some of your jokes and gigs, we'll try it out. And if you stink, I'm sure that they're going to let us know. But if you're good, I'm sure they're going to want you back.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so that would be cool. All right, Jerry. So all you have to do is get your camera and have somebody video you. And I'm sure you have an iPhone. Everybody seems to have one.
Right.
And Diaz says that y'all keep cutting out every 10 seconds or so.
Wow. Okay.
Looks like we're pretty fine here, Diaz.
Is it the weather?
Oh, it could be Vaughn. They've been rebooting, I think.
Oh.
See if anybody else has a problem.
All right.
I would go on one person because sometimes it's their connection. And Derek, I'm sending you the.
Well, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get right on it here.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sending you a story.
We're gonna We're gonna go international right now. Of course, y'all know that Jean Stapleton died. She's the woman that played Edith Bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played. Remember that? Something like a parade. Where the hell did you go? You were saying
Guys like us, we had it made.
Those were the days. And you know what you wanted. Goyles were goyles and men were men. We do no justice for the song. Mister, we give you anyway. She died at age 90.
Yes, 90 years old.
And John Putch says Saturday that his mother died Friday of natural causes at a New York City home.
Ah, you dingbat.
You meathead.
By friends and family. The stage, she was a stage-trained actress, co-starred with Carol O'Connor in the series about an unrepentant bigot. The wife he called Dingbat.
Yes.
And sister and their daughter and liberal son-in-law. Stapleton received 8 nominations and won 3 awards during her 8-year run on All in the Family. The CBS series ranked as #1 rated program for an unprecedented 5 years in a row.
Yes, she won, 3 Emmys.
3 Emmys.
3 Emmys.
She was a brilliant actress.
Very brilliant actress. Not just in television, but as I said, she was a stage-trained actress. She was in Broadway. In fact, she was in the she was in the original stage cast of Damn Yankees. And
that's right.
In fact,
my sister
she
Alice
was in the movie version of it too.
My sister Alice played it in high school, and she played Lola. That's how I found out about Damn Yankees.
Okay.
And it was a great production put on by her high school, but it seemed like it was really professionally done.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like a hokey high school play. I mean, they did a wonderful job in that play. My sister Alice played Lola. Whatever Lola wants.
Lola, yeah.
Lola
so that's where
gets.
they get it from. Because I was seeing these those Diet Pepsi commercials with Sofia Vergara in them, and they always play that song whenever she's in. It's like
Yeah. My brother says he met her in person in New York. Where? At the hotels. We always met everybody in the hotels. It was easy. When you live in, when you worked in the hotels, you saw everybody.
Yeah. Pretty much.
She was buying dresses in Brownstone Studios. Okay. Very good.
Really, really good.
And anyway, that's in the news. Do you have anything local? I have.
Oh, yeah, I definitely do. Stephen McDaniel's lawyers challenge evidence and statements in the Lawrence Giddings case.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, yes, definitely. Lawyers for Stephen McDaniel have filed motions seeking to throw out much of the evidence in his 2-year-old murder case. McDaniel, former Mercer Law student, is accused of killing classmate Laura Giddings in June of 2011. He is scheduled for trial in September in Bibb County Superior Court. Thursday, his attorneys filed 15 motions in this case. And many of them say McDaniel's statements or property taken from his apartment or his car should not be used in the trial. For example, one motion claims McDaniel was interrogated for 6 hours straight on June 30th, 2011, repeatedly accused of murder, verbally accosted, and threatened by police. That all happened before Macon officers read him his rights, the motion says. His lawyers say McDaniel's statements to police should be thrown out. Other motions ask to throw out ponchos found in McDaniel's car, rope, a flash drive, and other items he bought at a Walmart, and scissors, bleach, and latex gloves he purchased at Kroger. The motions say the evidence was irrelevant or was not obtained properly. Several other motions say that search warrants signed by Judge Edgar Ennis should be tossed. Ennis agreed to let another judge handle the trial, the motion says, because McDaniel worked as a clerk for Ennis during law school. Defense lawyers Franklin Hogue and Floyd Buford argue that Ennis shouldn't have approved those search warrants for the same reason. Hogue and Buford also want a judge to throw out any testimony about DNA evidence found on Giddings' underwear, and FBI analysts found that McDaniel cannot be excluded, quote-unquote, as the person responsible for that DNA. The defense lawyers also say that that's too vague and inconclusive, and that jurors are likely to be mesmerized by talk of DNA evidence. Finally, the lawyers are also challenging McDaniel's indictment, claiming it's not specific enough about where and when Giddings' killing took place. Prosecutors have not yet responded to the motions filed Thursday. District Attorney David Cook said Friday motions like these are standard procedure in a murder case, and he doesn't expect them to delay the September trial date.
Wow, this is unbelievable. This kid, he already had busted in the apartment. Somehow he had the keys or some craziness.
Yeah, because he was
like a maintenance guy.
Maintenance guy, yeah.
He goes into this girl's, allegedly, he goes into this girl's apartment, probably sexually assaulted her, and then chops her up and throws her body parts in the backyard.
Yes.
Until this day, they still haven't found her head.
Right, exactly.
Till this day. Now, I think that the police, once again, dropped the ball on this. They probably didn't read him as Miranda rights, which has happened here quite often. And then they start interrogating this guy.
Right.
And this kid he's a college student. Obviously, he knows somewhat about the law, or at least he got himself some good lawyers.
Yes.
You know, the parents must have good money.
Well, yeah, especially since he's a lawyer himself.
Right.
He has a lawyer.
And, well, yeah, he's studying to be a lawyer, right?
Yeah, I mean, he already graduated.
Yeah, he hasn't passed the bar, has he?
Not that I know.
No. So he's not a lawyer. He's still in study. And now all of a sudden we got this problem. Now all of a sudden they're getting all this evidence against the police, showing that in fact they didn't give him his due diligence process, which to me is bullshit. But and again, if this case would have been given better exposure other than local, like Nancy Grace never picked it up.
Right.
You and I talked about this. The reason why Nancy Grace never picked it up, why?
Because she's an alma mater of Mercer University.
Exactly. And because she likes to kiss ass like she does, she obviously didn't bring it up to make her school look bad.
Yes.
But if this was anybody else, she would have been all over this worse than white on rice.
Yes.
And it would have been maybe a different story. But she decided not to do it. Until this day, she hasn't mentioned it.
Exactly.
Am I right?
You're right.
And so, I don't know. You tell me. I mean, once again, Macon is unable to get it right. They can't get their act together. If this kid walks, they better send him somewhere else, because I think somebody may come after him.
Yeah, they may.
Not me personally, but
there may be like a vengeance thing.
You never know. You never know.
Vigilantism, probably.
Well, especially with all the issues going on here in Macon, they're going to say, well, they put me in jail because I'm black. If that was a black guy, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. He would definitely been walking the grid.
He would have gotten the death penalty and blah, 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 but because he's a Mercer College student and he's white, and it's going to start another racial issue and a racial argument all over.
Yes.
Macon, Georgia. So let's pray that
there won't be a mistrial or anything.
That there won't be a mistrial.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, anyway, speaking of monsters under a porch, they found an alligator. Right here in Bloomsfield. I guess all the rain.
Yeah.
And it probably came out of the Okmulgee.
Yeah, Okmulgee.
Yeah, but this is in Bloomsfield. They would have had to walk through the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's probably somewhere in... anyway, Bloomsfield. Nearly 10-foot long alligator was captured Sunday after spending a day underneath the backyard deck of a home in Bloomsfield Road in Macon. Neighbors say they came home around 5 p.m. to find Macon police keeping an eye on a giant reptile, which was lying motionless in the backyard of an unoccupied house, which there are many, folks. Jason Clark of Southeastern Reptile Rescue came to the home around 8 p.m. and snared the alligator without incident. Clark says he will take the alligator to the Columbus area and drop it in the Chattahoochee River.
Wow. Matter of fact, I had a more detailed story about some of that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, the person who found it was a 9-year-old girl, I think. Yeah, 9-year-old Jaida Head of the 5800 block of Bloomfield Road. She found something near her yard center that's not too common in her neighborhood. A nearly 10-foot alligator. They supposedly weighed between 250 and 300 pounds.
I sent him the story
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Joseph Head, her father, said that he thought his daughter was just freaked out over a large snake, and he went outside and prepared to kill a snake and was surprised when he saw laying parallel to the fence. So basically, they had to call in the Macon police, and the officer was already on the scene, thank goodness. And he stayed there for about 30 minutes and left. He said the officer told Ed he couldn't do anything. If it were there tomorrow, they'd do something. Ed said that he was going to shoot the alligator, and the officer warned him against it. He said, I couldn't shoot it because it wasn't a threat. Ed said, it is a threat because it's there. Because you never know if he what if like the alligator sneak into try to crawl into the house.
Yeah.
Telegraph reporter called the Southeastern Reptile Rescue and said they were on the scene in about 30 minutes. He says he's in a residential neighborhood and he needs to be removed today, not tomorrow, said Jason Clark. So he and his wife, Sarah, run the rescue. They removed the alligator, proving the Heads in the entire neighborhood with better entertainment than anything on television. Head even helped Clark carry the alligator to his truck. Clark said that they plan on driving the large reptile to Columbus and releasing it in the Chattahoochee River on Monday, as you said. Says he will release him around here, he might come back. That's why they've taken him to Columbus, out of town. Interim Macon Police Chief Mike Carswell said he was aware of the situation and already spoke to the officer's supervisor. He says that he was supposed to stay out there, Carswell said. We have to solve problems. Wonder if he will have his job. That police officer.
Maybe. I mean, look, he was they were keeping an eye on this thing, right?
Right.
Which is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Lord knows, we pay them for standing around most of the time anyway.
Right.
At least in this instant, there was a reason for it. What was that girl's head? I mean, her name?
Jada
Head?
Yes.
Yeah. She would have had no head if she would have gotten near that alligator.
Or no arms or legs for that matter.
Speaking of Chief Carswell, which you mentioned him, he became, he was named the police chief. For those of you that know the history of the show, we have been fighting the police department from almost the time last year. What was it, September? No, December 21st of last year.
December.
When Sammy Junebug Davis was shot to death by Officer Clayton Sutton. Chief Burns was in charge at the time. And we were very unhappy with the way that he led the police department. Mm-hmm. And so this Friday I found this out from Chief Carswell. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk a little bit about what I did when I went downtown to this policeman's rally neighborhood event. And so I spoke to him personally. But Deputy Chief Mike Carswell has been named interim police chief for the Macon Police Department. Macon Mayor Robert Rickett introduced Chief Carswell. He's taken over after former Chief Mike Burns stepped down earlier this year. Friday was Burns' last official day. Leaders in Macon came to the news conference to show their support. I didn't. Carswell already knows what he wants to establish on day one. Check this out. Mm-hmm. Leaders in Macon came to the news conference to show their support. And he said, we are working real hard right now to earn public trust. I mean, I really believe that it's been quoted before. In order for us to police, we gotta have that permission, and we want to reestablish that. I think we can. We're going to do that, as I said, by being transparent as we can be, Carswell said. Carswell wants to reduce crime in the area and gain back respect for his officers. He'll be the interim police chief for the Macon Police Department until the city and county merge on January 1st. Mm-hmm. But he's going to stay. I think the sheriff is going to keep him on. Mm-hmm. But you notice what he talked about? These are the very issues that I brought up. Trust, and you got to allow for the public to give you the permission.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that he used these words, but anyway, that's Chief Coswell, who I personally like. I think he's a good guy.
Yes.
And we'll see what happens.
He's well liked. He's well liked all. I think all across the community. I think at least mostly, a lot more compared to his predecessor, I should say, who recently resigned or retired last month. I guess due to health problems, what have you. I mean, he was probably. I mean, he should have been. Truth be told, he should have been sworn in as the police chief back then, back as 2012, 2011, since he was like writing, his signing the,
all the paperwork
that Anthony had,
I brought that up in at the forum, and everybody was in shock. I said, isn't that kind of breaking the law? This guy is basically forging these documents by putting it down on the line that says police chief, and he's not even the police chief.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he's signing off on all the guy's paperwork. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I also have some stories. Actually, it's probably more national than state national.
Okay.
This is from Yukon, Oklahoma. It says authorities say more than 100 people were injured during a burst of severe storms and tornadoes this past weekend. The Oklahoma State Department of Health reported Saturday that the Oklahoma City area hospitals treated over 100 people, 104 people. More than half of those were people who had been cut or pierced. 9 people died during the storm which struck the Oklahoma City area during rush hour, trapping many people in their cars along Interstate 40, I-40. The National Weather Service reported Friday evening that several tornadoes rolled across the prairie. The official number of tornadoes has not yet been determined. They said it might have been in at least, in the dozens perhaps, but I could be wrong. I may have to try to find the actual number of tornadoes that were during this weekend.
Wow. Well, that tornado 2 weeks ago was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really flattened more. But this week it killed that storm chaser guy.
Oh yeah.
Which one was it? Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, his name was Tim Samaras. His son, Paul Samaras, and Carl Young were killed Friday, while the tornado in El Reno, Oklahoma, relatives told CNN on Sunday. Their work tracking tornadoes was featured on the former Discovery show, Storm Chasers. They were among as many as 16 people killed in the storms that struck Oklahoma on Friday night, according to Oklahoma City Fire Chief Keith Bryant. At the intersection where authorities said the 3 storm chasers were killed, crews hauled away a mangled white truck Sunday that had been crushed like a tin can. The metal frame of their storm-chasing vehicle was twisted almost beyond recognition.
Oh.
The windows have been smashed to bits. I saw it. It looked like, when they take the cars and crush them in that crusher thing?
Yeah.
It looked very close to that. Canadian County Under Sheriff Chris West confirmed that the 3 storm chasers have been killed, but declined to provide additional details about the circumstances of their death. It's funny because he was on like 3 days before the storm talking about the new storms that are coming up, and it was on a show called The Cycle, which is on CNN, and he was reporting and talking to the woman on that show, and they were saying, be careful, and say, we take all these precautions, and we do this, and we've been doing this for 15 years. You know what? Who gives a shit? You've been doing it for 15 years, so what? I know people that have been firemen for 15 years and die on their 16th anniversary.
Yeah.
Just because you know what you're doing, or you think you know, doesn't mean that the unpredictable can happen.
Yeah.
And I think that what happened here was that they got a little cocky. There is film showing his son telling his father, this guy, Tim, get the hell in the car, get in the car. And he's getting all this stuff together and going slow. And meanwhile, the tornado's coming at them. And even the news reporter asked him at the time, you know, are you thinking more about the storm or are you thinking about your family and yourself? And he said, oh no, I've been doing this for so long. Well, I hate to say it, but pride comes before the fall, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's in fact what happened. That somehow he got a little too cocky and maybe he thought that it was going to be all right. And, you know, you just, exactly, city bum. Reminds me of Stephen Irwin's dad. Keep poking at nature. What do you expect? Yeah, remember Steve Irwin?
Yeah.
That
Grizzly Man, he told, was that the guy who did videos?
No, he was some nature guy, the Australian guy. That
the crocodile hunter, right?
Crocodile hunter.
Yeah.
No, was it Crocodile Hunter? Yeah.
Yeah, see, he was the crocodile hunter, and he had a show, Crocodile Hunter. But the thing was, he didn't get killed by a crocodile. He got killed by a stingray.
Exactly. That's the guy we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here, but I think what happens is people get caught up and they think that just because you have some kind of a rhythm one day, you know, where your hands, your dexterity, what's going on, all falls into place perfectly, that you lose sight of the fact that each and every time that you do it may give you some practice, but it's not going to make you
bulletproof.
Yeah, or foolproof.
Yeah, foolproof. Yeah.
You should always. I mean, even airline pilots, they still got to go through the mundane and checking their equipment. You don't see an airline pilot jumping in a plane and going on just because he thinks he knows everything.
Right.
He has to sit there and literally go through all of the gadgets and make sure that everything is on right, and it's a whole process.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not exactly riding a jalopy. I mean, flying a passenger jet. I mean, you have to go through so many things. Not to mention starting off. Not to mention getting the passengers on there. It's not just you have to buckle up. I mean, they have to go through, you know, metal detectors and all that. That's just for the passengers. So I mean, think what the pilot has to go through just to get started.
Yeah.
And the flight attendants too. And
well, let's say hello to our chatters. We got a whole bunch coming in. We got City Bunk, Saibuki, welcome back. DS Photo Guy, Edward Mampa. We got Yirak. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Good to have you back. Ashley.
Ashley 34.
34.
Beer Sports Cards.
Welcome.
Funky Dillo. Okay. Mr. Dumpster Baby Shotty Bray 72 Soul Man, and yeah, how you doing, Newt? And thanks for coming.
Welcome everybody. It's good to have you on, Shorty, and Dumpster Baby. It's always good. Let's talk a little bit about Soul Man, because this is a guy that is really someone who is a long-standing citizen of Macon. Not only that, you tell me, what was he?
He was a musician. He played with Sam and Dave. He's been on the Ed Sullivan Show, among other.
And who else did he play with?
He also played, I want to say, Isaac Hayes.
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding, yes.
And this guy is a legend.
Yes.
In our city, and he's known as Soul Man. He's on your chatterbox here this morning. And he worked for Stax. If any of you know the history of music.
Yes.
Stax was one of the studios that did Otis Redding, and who else did he do? A whole bunch of people.
I did say Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes.
He's also a Georgia native, you know, wrote the theme from Shaft, won Academy Award and a Grammy. You know, so Grammy Award winning, Oscar winning song. Yeah. So
and Newton plays a special instrument. It's kind of like a clarinet, but I'm not sure what they call it. Newton, you want to give us a name. But I've seen this guy perform. He's a legend. I mean, you sit there and just are mesmerized by the music that they play. I mean, really old-time jazz and rhythm and blues and just some of the best music that's not played anymore. You're so stuck on rap and this crap that this kind of music you don't really hear anymore.
Yeah.
So when you do hear it, you know it's legendary.
Yes.
So once again, I want to welcome Soul Man. And are we off? It looks like we're off here.
Oh no, I hope not. I mean, we're on a roll.
Yeah, Ed. Anyway. Oh, okay. Yurak says, I see you. Thank you, guys. My screen is dark. It's black. Okay, what else is in the news? We got, we got a woman who was hit and killed on Riverside Drive. That's not too far from us. Sorry, guys. We always have to bring in all the news that's local. Macon, Georgia, at least one car struck a woman and killed a woman on Riverside Drive around 11 p.m. Friday night. Bibb County Coroner Leon Jones identified the victim as 46-year-old Vanessa Rozier. Now, I saw the obituary. She was beautiful. Mm-hmm. She had a lot of family, and I believe one of her sisters is a friend of mine on Facebook. Of Culloden. Jones told 41 NBC Rozier thought she left something on top of her vehicle and pulled over on Riverside in front of Locos at restaurant to check when two vehicles hit her. Jones pronounced her dead at 11:30. Around 11:55, Macon police had a stretch road blocked off between Corbin and Locos Grill, where the car with the shattered windshield sat among about a dozen police cars. Jones said this is an ongoing investigation, and he's not sure whether the drivers of the two vehicles will face charges. Very, very sad story. Mm-hmm. Again, somebody in Macon dying, it hurts us all.
Yes.
Yes,
that's very tragic. Matter of fact, I had one story that was kind of really sad. It's about what cops are fired upon. This was in, I guess, from your old neck of the woods recently. This happened yesterday, actually.
Where?
In East Flatbush. Cops are fired upon and 3 people are shot in the East Flatbush gun battle. It says 3 men were shot, one critically, during a wild gunfight that also targeted cops in Brooklyn yesterday afternoon, police said. The most seriously wounded man was age 42, was shot in the torso. And police said another 24-year-old man was shot in the neck and a 25-year-old man was shot in the torso. Both are in stable condition. No officers were struck. It's unclear whether all of the injured men were the intended targets. The chaos erupted around 3:20 p.m. on Bedford Avenue near Lenox Road in East Flatbush when police responded to reports of a gun battle in progress. Witness and police sources told the Post that 2 people were shooting at each other when police units arrived and were shot at. Cops did not return fire, and arriving backup units swarmed buildings in the area searching for the shooters. It was unclear what sparked the violence. So that's the one thing that's
Crooklyn. Back in Crooklyn.
I remember seeing that movie back in '94. Good Spike Lee movie. Crooklyn, New York.
Well, and you know what? Very sad news, by the way. Mm-hmm. Very sad. But here's more sad news.
Okay.
But it's not that sad. It's just, I wish to God that it would have been me. But they still haven't found.
Okay.
Well, they still haven't found that lottery winner.
Yeah, they did.
When? It's still on the.
I saw on the news this morning.
Oh, they did?
I'll send it to you. Yeah,
okay, good.
Some workers in Florida.
When did they find him?
It was on the news this morning.
Okay, it was on the news. It's been 2. And here's the story that's up right now as we speak. Mm-hmm. It's been 2 weeks since residents of
Zephyrhills.
Yes, it looks like syphilis, doesn't it?
Find it?
Syphilis, Florida.
Okay.
Learned that 590 million Powerball ticket was sold inside the city limits. No one expected the winner to come forward immediately. After all, they reasoned the person might need a few days to absorb the shock or to consult with financial advisors. But now folks are simply beside themselves. Who won, they are asking. And according to Ed, we're going to have an update on that, right?
What update? You got the article. What update is there?
So you said that they found him, and I'm telling you that they didn't. They still haven't found the people, folks. And it's still out there. They are asking, do they live in Zephyrhills? Did they maybe lose a ticket? Rumors are flying and residents are eyeballing each other, wondering if there is a millionaire in the midst of this small community about 30 miles northeast of Atlanta. The winner has 60 days from the day of May 18 drawing to claim the lump sum payment.
Yeah, if nothing, it just goes back into the.
What? That would be very sad.
Yes. At least sad for the winner.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you win almost a little over $500 million and you don't want to claim it. I mean, I don't know.
It was on Facebook. That's where I saw it.
so I hear somebody coming in.
You know who it is.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Well, good morning. Good morning.
Yes.
Why don't you jump right in? This is
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Hicks. He's one of our visiting co-hosts. Hopefully he'll come around more often. There, grab that chair right there, buddy.
Yes.
All right.
That blue chair.
There
And
you go,
we're gonna be talking some stuff. Is that where right around where you live, Edward? Maybe you're the Powerball winner. We don't know about it.
Urban.
Would he be here if he
Wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, so there you have it. They still haven't found the Powerball guy.
Edward
or
says it's
girl.
my ticket. Well, you better claim it, man. You better
No.
claim it.
How many days they got? It's been about a month now, right?
We said 2 weeks. So he has like 6 more weeks.
No, it said 60 days,
60 days, so that's 2 months.
2 months, and how long has it been?
Facebook.
It's been more than 2
It was
weeks.
a bunch of office workers. It was on Facebook. I read this morning. I don't remember. Can't find it now.
Okay.
Bunch of office.
Welcome, Michael.
How you doing, young man?
Good, good.
Yeah.
Michael Hicks is, still is, I believe, a cameraman up in Macon,
Oh yeah.
and in Warner Robins.
Oh yeah.
We're going to be doing some projects together and bring you some, hopefully, some new stuff here on the Morning Roast. We're going to go out into the neighborhoods and do some really good stories regarding how the
Stories that
city's
need to
being
be
run.
done.
Mm-hmm.
Stories should have been done a long time ago.
Exactly.
Yes,
Stories that
yes.
should have been done a long time ago. Maybe that's what we'll call
Most definitely.
it. Anyway,
remember the story that we talked about this past Friday Thursday or Friday about the Macon Beer Company?
yes.
Yeah, they had they were showing people about their home brewing lessons. They also had a special where they were serving beer flavored ice cream. Beer flavored ice cream. Can you believe that?
To little kids?
Well, not the little kids. I mean, to the grown-ups,
Oh.
obviously. And I wonder
Okay.
if you have to, like, you have to get a taxi cab or something like that. Like, you get like a 2-scoop minimum or something like that, and you have to, have to get a breathalyzer test or something.
That sounds beer flavored ice cream. That's ooh.
I don't know if
I can get
they
up
got
on that.
bacon flavored shakes now, I hear.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I mean, if they can make bacon flavored shakes, I'm quite sure they make beer flavored ice cream.
Yeah.
That's
Well, anyway, DS Photo Guy, I tried his beer. He does his own brewing at home.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. I mean, the beer is kind of like a lager and a regular golden beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a nice spunky taste to it. It's incredible how you can make beer on your own, but it's too much science bullshit behind it.
Yeah, it's not exactly making beer at home. It's not
It's
exactly
not-
making Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
you know.
or fruit punch. Or whatever. I'll stick to just
I can
going
get
out
up
and
on
buying a
that.
can.
I can get up on that.
Uh-huh.
But he's got a whole keg of it. And tastes really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure the alcohol content, but I felt a little punch
Yeah.
when I drank it.
I hear that. Speaking of getting some punches, rolling with the punches. I had a story. It was given me by both Ed and Urak. Wow.
Oh, great!
Here's a wing dang doodle for you early this morning. So Michael Douglas said that oral sex caused my cancer.
Oh, Lord.
And now we just watched Liberace the other day.
Yeah, I wonder if it was the Liberace thing. Yeah,
Billy's dad is a fudge packer.
Unbelievable.
Wow, it says actor reveals to The Guardian that HPV transmitted through oral sex was responsible for his throat cancer. Wow.
Okay, I need to hear the story. I mean, how does this happen?
Yes. Academy Award winner Michael Douglas, star of Basic Instinct and Fatal Attraction, has revealed that his throat cancer was apparently caused by performing oral sex. In a surprisingly frank interview with The Guardian, the actor, now winning plaudits in the Liberace biopic Behind the Candelabra, explained the background to a condition that was thought to be nearly fatal when diagnosed 3 years ago. Asked whether he now regretted his years of smoking and drinking, usually thought to be the cause of the disease, Douglas replied, no, because without wanting to get too specific, this particular cancer is caused by HPV, or human papillomavirus, which actually comes about from cunnilingus. Douglas, the husband of Catherine...
Sounds nasty.
Yeah, well, throat cancer...
Sounds Italian.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe that's a fish smell.
Nasty. Well,
Never
I
mind.
mean, cancer usually is nasty, but Douglas, the husband of Catherine Zeta-Jones, continued, I did worry if the stress caused by my son's incarceration didn't help trigger it, but yeah, it's a sexually transmitted disease that causes cancer. And if you have it, cunnilingus is also the best cure for it. The actor, now 68 years old, was diagnosed with the cancer in August 2010, following many months of oral discomfort. But a series of specialists missed the tumor and instead prescribed antibiotics. Douglas then went to see a French doctor in Montreal who looked inside his mouth using a tongue depressor. He says, I will always remember the look on his face, Douglas had previously said. He said, we need a biopsy. There was a walnut-sized tumor at the base of my tongue that no other doctor had seen. Then shortly afterwards, he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, which is often terminal, and embarked in an extensive 8-week course of chemotherapy and radiation. And he basically lost 45 pounds during the chemotherapy, and he had a liquids only diet. It was a rough ride, he said, plus the amount of the zaps, all the good stuff too, just made him weak. But this kind of cancer, he's been 2 years clear of it. So
it's pretty nasty.
I would have told nobody nothing like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, everybody was feeling bad for him because he's dying of cancer or he had cancer and all that. Now that the truth comes out, people are like, ew. I don't get it.
Mike, you a freak.
So is he basically coming out the closet in an indirect way saying he's gay?
No. I think this was a female. Women get cervical cancer down there.
Yeah, cervical cancer, and plus they're more likely to get HPV more often than men because
Michael Douglas is doing the freaky deaky.
Well, you never know. I mean, he just did that Liberace movie, and him and Matt Damon, they were going off on it. I mean, it was you know what? Even for someone like me who's seen this time and time again, I could not believe how far they went. I mean, they were making out and touching each other, and they even said it. I saw a couple of interviews. They said, they really went all out, and Michael Douglas was concerned about Matt Damon's career. He said, you're very young. I'm an old man, but you're young. This may tarnish your career. But it was so well done. It's called Behind the Candelabra. Incredible film about Liberace and his so-called hidden lover. And you see this relationship, it's so freaky. But it was like marriage, you know? And
I wish my brother George was here.
And I haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh, it's incredible. Well, we showed it on our the matinee that we have on Saturdays. And I mean, I was riveted because first of all, there were a lot of stars in it. There was even Dan Aykroyd. You didn't even know these people were them. I did not know it was Matt Damon until I started looking behind the story. And I said, oh, shit, no wonder he looked familiar. I knew it was Michael Douglas because he was the head guy. But even Michael Douglas did a great job in the voice, in the mannerism, in the costumes. Everything was done very, very well. And Jerry Weintraub was the one, and Steven Soderbergh, whatever. Freaking, it's some Jewish guy that's very famous. That's a director, did the directing. They did a great job.
Well, Steve Soderbergh, he's known for his movie Traffic, Eric Brockovich, and especially the movie that put him on the map was Six Lives Videotape.
Right, and Rob Lowe was in it, and you knew it was Rob Lowe, but he had his whole face taped up and his hair, and he looked completely different. Not completely, because you knew it was Rob Lowe, but they really made him look freaky in that. In that, I mean, he wasn't. Yeah,
Whatever that.
he played the plastic surgeon, and he did a great job. Incredible movies called Behind the Candelabra. I would suggest that when you guys see it, just get to learn a little bit about this guy named Liberace, who was really before Elton John, Lady Gaga. Who else dresses up freaky like that? Well, they're all doing it now. Even Beyonce dresses up in all this flamboyancy. Of course, she looks pretty in it, but you know, we're talking about really over-the-top costume. Liberace was really the one that started all that.
Oh yeah.
No. I mean, no doubt about it.
David Bowie is another one. You're right.
Yeah, Mr. Dumpster Baby said, sadly, it probably will ruin his career. I guess you're talking about Matt Damon's. Jim Carrey and Ewan McGregor's work dried up fast after I Love You, Philip Morris.
I never even heard of that movie.
Well, was that a homoerotic film, or was it about smoking? Because Philip Morris was the company, you know, I guess cigarettes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole new romantic involvement in the 80s. Oh, okay. A comedy about two gay guys in prison. Oh, okay.
Who would want to go see that?
Well.
Yeah,
About
they
two
probably.
gay guys.
What's the world coming to?
Yeah, you haven't seen Jim Carrey in a whole lot of films lately.
No.
Jeez.
I guess after The Cat in the Hat, who was it that played? No, that was the other
That was
one.
Mike Myers.
Yeah, and he's another one that died on a vine, didn't he? He was such a big deal.
And then
Where is he
that
now?
Speed bump, yeah, that big speed bump in the road just hit the wall with that movie.
You know, America's a funny place. People get tired very quickly about things. You notice that? I mean, you could be in the top of the world today, and tomorrow you're just like, whatever.
You're under the bus, you know, like a week later.
But it's nice when you see characters like this, like, you know, these stars like Rob Lowe and Michael Douglas come back. I mean, of course, Matt Damon is still hot. He's still in the movie.
Rob Lowe, he went through some stuff. I mean, he was really messed up. I mean, he just had like, you know, he had a sex tape with some women he met in Atlanta or something like that during the National Convention, Democratic Convention or something. And then he couldn't get a job to save his life and stuff. And I knew a whole lot of women who had a crush on Rob Lowe. And then he came back, you know, with the Austin Powers sequel, and then he got a job on the West Wing, and then his comeback was just like that.
Yeah, that was the show that he got. That's what really saved him, the West Wing.
Yeah, that's true. That
for
show.
the West Wing, Rob Lowe would be through.
Yeah.
He'd be a has-been.
Definitely.
And who was on that show? It was Sheen, the old man,
Martin
right?
Sheen, yeah.
Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
By the way, just to give some notice here to our chatters here, Harry Kuda, welcome Harry. He says Rob Lowe is a fudge packer in real life. What is that?
A fudge packer.
Oh, I think I know.
That sounds like. Saibuki says only Tom Hanks has gotten away. Saibuki says only Tom Hanks has gotten away with playing a poofer.
And
a poofster and not crushing his career.
Well, of course, because he got an Oscar for it. That's why.
Yeah,
that's why. So, if he didn't get an Oscar for it, his career would be dead too.
Oh, that's interesting. Here's some trivia. They said, this is Donnie Curry. They said in the behind the movie that the house they used was Zsa Zsa Gabor's house. I wouldn't doubt that. It was elaborate.
Oh yeah, very
you have to see this house. I mean, and them walking around in his incredible house. I couldn't have that house because it's too much shit to dust off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You gotta hire like a whole company to clean that house up.
Too much maintenance.
Too much maintenance. And he had an older black woman as a maid.
Yeah.
And they had a real interview with her back in when he was still alive. I saw an interview. And she said, oh, you know, they asked her, you know, he's very gracious to his friend. Has he ever given you any gifts? And she starts showing her jewelry. She had all this jewelry on. She said, oh, yes, he gives me a lot of jewelry. You know? Did you give her a paycheck? Is the question.
Yeah, good question.
That probably was her paycheck.
Yeah.
The jewelry.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you would be surprised at what his house is like now. It's like just totally like ransacked. Now.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching it on Entertainment Tonight, a whole other show, and it's just basically just a big empty condemned building. I mean, Miles is just big enough to be a building.
Is he still under his name? I bet not.
I doubt it though. I doubt it. But it's just a big empty space. I mean, you could. I mean, if it wasn't for like the old water fountain and all this type of stuff, the elaborate, yard work and stuff, you could place any one of those several buildings that are still empty in downtown Macon, someplace.
Yeah.
It's just empty. But speaking of like people trying to get a comeback, what's up with Ray J with that song I Hit It First? You ever heard about that? I mean, with Kim Kardashian,
it's gonna be a flop because he's hoping that just because it's a song about Kim Kardashian, it's gonna help him sell.
Yeah,
it's not.
But it doesn't. But the thing is, it's not gonna work.
Is this Kanye?
We're talking about Ray J.
Ray J.
Brandy's brother. I mean, which really doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, this dude, he's killed more careers than Bridget Nielsen. I mean, really.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, careers, TV shows is not even. I mean, he was on the Sinbad show when they had Salma Hayek on there. For some reason, Fox got rid of Salma Hayek and kept him and the girl who played his little sister. It's like, bump that. I would have kept Salma. We would just made the kids. They had our own cast. But that's just. I mean, it's just stupid. Yeah, exactly. Beer Sports Car says Ray J got popular from his sister. Yeah, he's riding his sister's coattails.
Exactly.
Yeah, well.
I mean, could you imagine your biggest contribution?
And his sister ain't all that either. I mean, what's the big deal about her?
Yeah, but
she had a show.
She does got a Grammy.
I like Brandy now. Wait a minute now.
Well,
I like Brandy.
Yeah, she got. She's got. I mean, she's got at least a Grammy on her belt. But what is he? He doesn't even have an Image Award or something. I mean,
no.
Yeah.
The only thing that really put him on the map was the sex tape with him and Kim Kardashian.
And then the girl he was out sex tape, she became more famous than he was. It made more money. I mean, got a makeup line, a clothing line in the stores at Sears and stuff. He doesn't even have a sneaker or a lollipop to his name. Not even a candy bar, Baby Ruth or something.
They name lollipops after people.
Oh,
I know they do sandwiches.
Well, I'm just saying, Kojak. I was thinking about Kojak, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, professionally speaking, yes. I mean, my goodness, but could you imagine you had make a sex tape with a person you had sex, your partner is more famous than you and richer than you. That's like Hanna-Barbera giving Barney Rubble his own show. It makes no sense. Meet the Rubbles, Betty.
I wonder who the camera guy was that did the sex tape with Ray J and Kim Kardashian.
He's probably standing and masturbating. Was the camera really shaking up a lot?
That's what I want to know. Who was the camera guy?
Yeah,
that's a girl.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
Exactly. Who was it?
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of sad though. I mean, the dude.
Anyway, Shorty Brave says Ray J will always be Brandy's little brother.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he will.
Kanye, Be a Sports Card said Kanye West kills Ray J. You know what? That kid, Kanye West, he needs some anger management. That kid. He always was pissed off.
He's horrible.
What a terrible personality.
He's horrible.
He's really spoiled.
He is horrible.
You know what? He needs a good spanking.
Sad part is he might like it.
And somebody got to put them, put him over their knee.
I mean, normally people. I mean, not to dwell on this, Rachel, but normally when you have who's going to brag about somebody they had a decade ago.
That means that's a sign showing a sign of being desperate.
He's
going back to grab something that happened years ago, hoping that people are going to grab back on it again, and you'll be able to make you a few dollars off of it.
Yeah, I'm saying because first he made the song I Hit It First, and really he hit it third because you had she was married first to this one dude, who producer, and then she got divorced, and then she had an affair with Nick Lachey. Because
that girl has screwed just about anybody.
And that's the only white guy we know that Kim Kardashian has slept with. And then Ray J made the sex tape, and then
she is worse than what the lady, the Hollywood madam? What's her name?
I have no idea.
Heidi Fleiss. Oh yeah, Heidi Fleiss.
Her and Heidi Fleiss need to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's
Yeah,
really
well-
sad, they had Ray J was on there when he did the video. I hit it first. He actually got the girl from the video. He was on 106 in Park. This Kim Kardashian lookalike. They're like, come on, you're reaching, dude. You're reaching. I mean, you know, he might as well just say I hit it third.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, too bad it's not the Olympics. You know, he at least would have placed with a bronze medal.
Yeah.
But not that many people win. Not that many people brag about making it third place in the Olympics.
Yeah, Dumpster Baby says, did you know it was Kim Kardashian's mom who released a sex tape?
Maybe she was the camera. Maybe she was the camera person.
You know, I wouldn't doubt that. That mother, I mean, they're just milking everything, literally milking anything and everything.
Yeah.
So she's literally pimping her daughter.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
Wow.
I wonder if her mom having the sex tapes.
Say again?
I wonder if Kim Kardashian's mom having the sex tapes in the closet.
I don't know, but that woman is a freak.
Yeah.
They're all kind of freaky.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know. Yeah, really. I don't even know how they became stars. Why did they become stars, for God's sake?
Her dad was Kim
Who
Kardashian's
gives
dad.
a shit? Her dad is dead.
Irvin, that's the wrong word to use. Star. They're not stars.
Yeah,
They're
you're right.
famous
They're not stars.
or
Yeah.
infamous.
No. A lot of people know them. I don't.
Yeah.
You know.
They're asteroids.
Asterisks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
asteroid.
asteroids. Yeah.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kanye West is an amazing artist, though. Cannot hate on that. He's a producer and a rapper.
Yeah, but he has a really fecal personality.
Oh
Yeah.
His attitude is horrible.
Well, not
His
only that,
attitude is
look at who
absolutely
he's
horrible.
producing. He's producing some desperate inner city kids
Yeah.
that will do anything. I mean, porno films to make money. So I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know whether
like
he's really finding talent or he's just taking some guy that hangs out on the street selling dope and he brings him in and says, well, you know how to talk, you know how to rap, you got a nice voice, come up with something and I'll put you in, I'll make you a star. I mean, who is he really producing? Do you know?
Who?
Exactly.
I think the real reason why Kanye West is so successful that his music he produces has been able to cross over onto the onto mainstream America.
He hasn't crossed over this
before-
side yet.
Oh no.
Yeah, what was it? Ella
absolutely
Megan
not.
says Kanye is a rude guy. I never liked him since he done what he did to Taylor Swift years ago, and she received her award. Well, yeah, that is true. He is definitely a rude guy. But come on, I mean, Taylor Swift is exactly innocent herself. I mean, every time she breaks up with a person, or every time she gets short change from a coffee at Starbucks, she has to write a song about it.
That's why that's why you never worship these celebrities because they just as screwed up as we are.
And even more so.
I don't worship none of them at all.
Shawty Brave said that Ray J saying he hit a Kim K first is like him bragging about being the first person to experience identity theft. Wow.
Stupid. And Dumpster Baby says sex tape made that girl famous and filthy rich. She isn't just a bimbo though. She really knows how to make money from having no skills. Very good.
That's to tell you something.
And Pia Sports Cards, although he says Kanye's a good guy, producer and all that crap, which to me is all bogus shit anyway. Personality-wise, he is a pussy.
Yes. Well, it's 9:04 a.m. right now. I think it is time for a break. So
Break. We just getting started.
We start at 8.
Every hour.
We have a break every hour.
We take a break every hour.
But
Ed, you got anything queued up? As always.
Okay, well, as always, we'll be right back at 70 degrees right outside. Macon, Georgia is partly cloudy with a chance of showers with a high of 86 and low of 69. You're watching the Morning Roast live from the Nut House with our special guest, Mike Hicks. We'll be right back.
Murder mystery unfolding east of the downtown core tonight.
Now, police have 2 men in custody.
I saw something very
Bloody crime
disturbing
scene.
when
And now they found human remains. Global's Anthony Robart live at Lakeshore and Cherry Street. The latest on this developing story. Anthony.
Hello guys, well this is the crime scene right at the base of the Lakeshore near Cherry Street, and as you mentioned, it is certainly a very bizarre murder case for the Toronto police, where the confession came first and the discovery of a body coming hours later. In the shadow of the Gardner overpass, in an area littered with garbage bins and abandoned trailers, comes the scene of the city's latest homicide.
Nothing like this happened before.
So Leslie, this is the crime scene right now. We're looking at a large crime scene that is literally hundreds of meters in diameter. And at this point, we're getting our first look. As you can see, the Toronto Police doing their business right now. It's a very dramatic scene, off to a call right now. But I want to show you the crime scene in question here. We're getting our first look at the dumpster in question. It looks like it was a recycling bin and a garbage bin that has been taped up. We are told it will be removed from the scene very shortly. But right now, the focus for the Toronto Police, with 2 men in custody, it's on finding the 3 remaining suspects. Guys, back to you.
All right, the action on Lakeshore tonight. Anthony Robart joining us live with the latest developments. Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, read that comment.
Now he's got 2 other cops in the room, just off camera.
What you come over here for? You come over here because I wanted to come over here. Huh?
Pay attention to the prince.
Hey man, don't grab me like that.
I will do what I want to do.
Oh yeah? Turn around. Hey man, don't grab me like that. I'm telling you, don't disrespect.
I'm telling you, you're going to do what I tell you.
Disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me.
Put your hand down here. Sit down. We're not playing this game. Stephen said, They hit him with pepper spray.
All right, we're back.
All righty.
Wow.
Even
Did
in the
you see
public
that?
bathrooms.
Did you see that?
Yes. I hope
They get away with it.
I hope he flushed after he finished. You know, whoever, you know.
They wash their hands.
Yeah, wash their hands. You know, excuse me. Yeah, wash their hands and stuff. Because that's something you don't want to.
What about the cop using the spray indoors? That's dumb. That's really, really dumb.
Well, once again, you know, this whole thing with police officers are completely out of control. And by the way, I saw Chief Coswell on Friday.
Okay.
And we shook hands, and Miss Gourdet, I ran into the sheriff. The sheriff wants to meet with me. But one of the things that he said to me was, hey, you know, like you said, and attributed this to me for whatever reason, like you said, we need to build trust again. And it's actually on the article today. He's been named the chief, interim chief.
That's a good
for Macon, Georgia.
I think I think it's well deserved, to be honest with you.
Well, and he's a good guy. I mean, I think that he sees things the way you ought to see them. I think Burns was burnt out. You know, having sat through 2 of the mayor's you know, terms,
Right.
and before that, Jack Ellis, 2 of Jack Ellis's terms.
Yeah.
You know, that's a long time to be,
It is.
you know, in a job, and that's a problem that we have here in Macon.
What, it mean people don't know when to leave?
Yeah, they don't know when to leave.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Edward, I got the link. I need to look at the video before I'm going to play it. I review everything before I play it.
Yeah,
we strict rules here on Vaughn.
Yeah, we have to make sure that it's not a racially volatile video. We can't just show any video anymore. They've been watching. They've been watching us, and so we got to be very careful what we put on. We're going to be making sure that we look at it, see if it's acceptable.
They're watching because they're interested.
Pardon?
They're watching because they want to know what's going on. They're
Oh, yeah.
interested.
Oh yeah.
They're very interested.
Oh yeah.
And they certainly are.
Yes. Welcome to the second hour
Certainly.
certainly, yes. Welcome to the second hour of the Morning Roast live from the Nut House. We have Irving Martinez, our guest host for today,
It's
Mike,
me.
Michael Hicks, and yours truly, DB here, Derek Barrett, and behind the camera, behind the nerve center, behind the wheels of steel, Ed, Make It Karaoke, Ironbinder, the producer of the show and providing us
Say
with the
that 3
videos.
times. Say that 3 times in a row.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
had a hell of a time trying to learn how to spell it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, my brother says they won't see it. Yes, they will.
You know what? If they want to watch it, they can click the link themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to play that video, Edward. If they want to watch it, they can watch it. Okay? Just when you do stuff like that, you know, get the warning and stuff. So
Yeah, well, freedom, yes, but we don't have freedom on Vaughn Live. They have their rules,
Yes,
and
yeah.
we have to be just very careful what we put on here. But
Now,
I'm
we can
gonna.
cuss like a motherfucker.
What?
Yeah,
can't
go
show-
figure.
Yeah, we could say curses and all that, but we have to be very careful. It says no racist.
No one under the age of 18 on the cast, on the screen.
Well, he's not under 18. The guy that's
I'm
on that
telling you the
video.
rules.
But
Sometimes he acts like it, though.
yeah.
Speaking of which, speaking of controversy and racism, I want to put in a link of a Cheerios commercial that's been making a whole lot of headway and stuff, but for some reason I have no idea why. I mean, people were talking about, check out this Cheerios commercial. I already put the link to it, but people seem to have a problem with it, and I'm like, what?
Tell them why we can't play it.
And the reason why we can't play it, well, one is because it has a child in it.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is not what you mean. I'll preface it more since we can't play it. The story is basically a kid, well, actually a little girl, is talking to her mom. Basically, does Cheerios? It says that Cheerios is good for your heart. Is it really? Is true?
It is.
It says yes. And then
Ow. Got sugar in it, no?
no, it has no sugar in it.
The plain Cheerios.
Plain Cheerios. And basically, she puts, she gets the Cheerios box, and then you see the next thing, you see her dad waking up with a whole bunch of Cheerios on his chest. Like, hey, what's this? You know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been getting a whole lot of.
Why did he have Cheerios on his chest?
Well, it says good for his heart. That's what the little girl thought. Yeah. But the thing, but here's the catch. Hold on. It gets better. It gets better.
I hope so.
Now, the thing is, that's not all. The reason why it's considered controversial is because the little girl is biracial and her mom is white and her dad is black.
Wow. I know that won't go over too well in the South.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's been a lot of. I mean, if you would have seen the comments from it, and even the news people have been talking about how bad it's been. I mean, this is just a copy of the Cheerios commercial. I'm just checking on YouTube the comments that they said. Mm-hmm. It says Vermilion Mason. They'd probably be confused by the commercial since the real life mix kid would never have known their dad. It says, it says it actually was Charles and Mary Saatchi made a commercial that both Semitic Jews, whatever, and some homophobic gay Jewish Nazi guy with a swastika on his avatar says, "Caution: this video contains lethal doses of AIDS. Proceed at your own risk. You've been warned." They're like, it just gets nasty. I mean, the original video of it from the Cheerios YouTube channel had to disable all its comments because they were getting too dirty and too vulgar. Even there was a few of them. I mean, a good number of them.
Yeah, I mean, what is the big deal
white
about
guys,
that commercial?
The big deal about it is that people have a problem seeing anything in an interracial romance involving a black guy, which is kind of stupid because it's a Othello complex. I mean, from Othello to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner to Jungle Fever,
and then they say to me,
the black angel character that was making out with Madonna in the Like a Prayer video, to the OJ trial, to the Kardashian sisters. I mean, it goes on and on. People just have a problem who a black guy sleeps with. I mean, that's why. I mean, think about it. Think of all the Real World episodes on MTV. Right. They always try to get rid of the straight black guy because he's gonna. Oh man, unless he already has a girlfriend, they always try to break him up, who he's trying to get with, cock block him, or they try to kick him off the show all the time. Right. I mean.
Dumpster Baby says in 2013 in government corporate policy still about divide and separation.
Yeah, we still have that Jim Crow mentality. I mean, why do you think we had Jim Crow started in the first place? Anti-miscegenation laws in America. That's the reason why the movie Hairspray was about that too. Right. Because it was about. I mean, whether you check out the 1988 version with Ricky Lake and the late actor Divine in that movie, where basically they're trying to integrate this little dance place, American Bandstand type of show, and then they did a version of it on Broadway, and then they made the Broadway musical version of remake of Hairspray the movie, now a musical. I mean, basically, people just happen to hate to see a black dude happy, especially if the brother is in love or attracted to somebody. It's
my brother says that the South is more open-minded than the North.
In certain places.
Very, very, very few certain places.
Yeah, very certain places.
They are not as. There may be a better bullshit artist and trying to make you feel good, like they're not really offended, but God knows what happens behind closed doors when they get to talk about you and backstab you. At least in the North, they let you know how they feel. In the South, they don't let you know.
I can't play that. I'm not playing that video.
Yeah, okay.
That's but anyway, it's just bad. I mean, even if you ever seen those old, well, it's not really old, but those 80s teen shows on NBC. It's like Saved by the Bell, Hang Time, and California Dreams. Like you never. I mean, how many brothers you've seen on that show? And if you, come on, you don't see that many. And if they do, they treat them like the teenage version of Isaac the waiter from The Love Boat. Like, Yeah. He does. I mean, they always treat him like the teenage version of that type of brother. He's like a paper tiger. Well, in a romantic sense, he's a ladies' man on paper. He always brag about getting women. He always giving advice about women, but you never see him with a woman. And when he does have a woman, it's always like during the cliffhanger of the season finale episode. And the producer's like, and he's trying, and the Isaac dude trying to get his nookie on, whatever. And because the producer's like, hey man, you better get some because you ain't gonna get any until next year.
Wow. Dumpster Baby says the South still has a disproportionate number of black people being sentenced to death, while white guys get time for the same crime. Black people are also more likely to be shot by cops. It's sad but true.
I agree with that.
And let me just say this. That's with the males. Yeah. All right, because I want to segue into the story that you and I were talking about yesterday.
Right.
About the prostitution that is prevalent here in Macon, Georgia.
Prevalent? Oh my God. That's a serious understatement. It is totally out of control. Right?
Yeah, it's out of control. And, unfortunately, these women are not even pretty.
I know.
Budweiser
don't even make enough beer to get you that drunk. I'm just saying.
I'm serious.
None of them do.
You really have to be like blind in order to sleep with this person.
Yeah.
And you talk about ugly. Well, why don't you preface this story, Michael?
I had a friend of mine that lives in Houston, and he called me one day and he said, "Hey man, go to the computer right quick." I said, "Okay, what's up?" So I go to the computer. He said, "Type in this website called Backpage.com." So not knowing what he's talking about, I typed it in. I get to it. I said, "Okay." I just see a bunch of different categories. He said, "Look to your right and click on the thing that says escorts." So I click on the thing that says escorts.
You thinking maybe talking about a Ford Escort?
No, I'm sure you weren't looking for an escort.
No, it's not Ford Escort, but I clicked on it, and it brought up this other page that lists the different states. He said, "Now go down, click on go down to Georgia." I go down to Georgia, I click on it. He said, "Now click on Macon." I click on Macon, the next page comes up, it says some little disclaimer on there. I click on I agree. Now, from that point, it gives you a list of girls that are on Backpage. And when you see it, it kind of looks like some kind of computer garbage. But when you click on it, it pops up. And it lets you know. It pops up. Pictures pop up. Pull it up. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, Herb.
Well, be very careful because a lot of those sites have viruses.
No, this is not a virus.
Okay.
It's definitely not a virus. You got to put up so I can show you what I'm talking about.
That's kind of messed up. Like
I want you to see
whether it's prostitution, porn, even when you go on porn site, you still always end up catching something. That's That's messed up.
You have got to see this. You have got to pull this.
Well,
website up.
let's really talk about what's more. Instead of putting the site up, let's talk about what the police are or are not doing.
Right.
They're doing little right now for the simple reason that they don't have the manpower or the money available to get it, because there's so many of them out there, Irvin. You click on, when you go to this website and you click on it, you'll see the heading says tasty black female, slim, 19 years old, and it'll show you where it says Eisenhower Parkway area. So when you click on it, it lets you know what her rates are. $50, $15.
Oh, no kidding.
Listen to it. It is hilarious. It says you might see something that says 15 minutes, $60.
Oh,
$80, 30
They got
minutes.
a price list. They don't even have a price list for dry cleaning.
They got prices. They got prices on here now. And the thing about it is this: when you click on it and you see it, they give you a number, and most of the phones are you know some little prepaid minute phone that you get out of on Walgreens or something.
Yeah.
And you call them, and when you call, they answer. That I mean, they are so nice. And just so friendly.
Like a booty call hotline.
Like a booty call hotline, and when you
The
answer,
prices.
and when they answer, you say, you may tell them your real name, you may not. Who said, then they'll say, okay, Irvin, sweetie, how much time do you want to spend with me? So Irvin might say, well, I want an hour.
I want an hour.
Yeah. And she
I don't want 2 minutes with these people. Are you crazy?
And she says, well, okay, my hourly rate is $150. So basically, when you tell them, I said, okay, well, I want to make an appointment to come see you.
Well, all I'm saying is, if I'm going to pay $150, I want groceries. I want freaking a cooked meal.
Yeah.
And no
3
sex.
cooked meals.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is the part. I mean, they are so sophisticated with it.
Okay.
And the reason why, when you call them, they say, well, okay, you ask them, well, why do I come? Where do I come? You say, she says, I'm located on Riverside Drive. You say, okay, where on Riverside? She said, well, when you get on Riverside, call me back and I'll tell you what hotel I'm at. So you riding down Riverside thinking, it's on now, buddy.
Yeah.
You call it back, you say, well, I'm on Riverside. Well, I'm at the Baymont Hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on Baymont. What room are you in? Well, when you get in the parking lot, call me back and I'll let you know what room. So you get in the parking lot and call them back, well, I'm in room 116. You go in there and there's a 50% chance that the picture that you saw on the website is totally different from what you're looking at.
Okay, let's be honest here, Mike. It sounds like you went through this whole routine.
Yeah,
I went with a reporter.
Did you do it?
I went out with a reporter.
Oh,
okay.
She has the story.
So where you want me to meet you?
I want you to meet me at the Dewdrop Inn.
I don't know,
Hey,
Mike.
please drop
You know
in.
too much about the details of this.
I know. The reason why I said it, if you were to click on it one time, I promise you would be absolutely amazed.
Well, we'll click on. We'll see it, but I just don't want to I don't want his IP address to show up on that site. Because it could be later on that they're busted and they're going to go back and look at his IP address and think he's a John.
And
we have to be very careful.
The police and Vice, in making, they know about it because I called and talked to them.
Oh,
they know about it, but they're really, their hands are tied because they really just don't have enough manpower to go after them. I mean, all of these hotels in Macon, Riverside area, Eisenhower, downtown, top of Riverside, wherever, they know, the people that work at the front desk, they know about it. Mm-hmm. The convenience stores in the area of these places, they know about these girls. They call them the back page girls. Mm. And it is absolutely amazing, Irvin, as to the number of girls that are using this website for prostitution.
Oh man, that's way too creepy.
It's not just in Macon. It's in Warner Robins, Dublin. I mean, it is something else, man. Mm-hmm. It is something else. Aaron, there might be some people right here in this neighborhood where you at that on Backpage, and you'll never know. You
Well,
will never,
I've
ever
seen
know.
them when I drive down 2nd Street, and it's scary. They all look like zombies.
Yeah.
Like they're ready to start chewing on your skin.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
so you never know. By the way, we got all these comments here.
Okay.
Going back to that story, the interracial with the Cheerios.
Yeah.
People need to come into the 20th century. We're in the 21st century, by the way, Ellen. A biracial couple is not something to have a fit about.
Yeah, I agree. It's just people just happen to have a problem seeing
They used
black
to say,
men involved in interracial.
well, they
Because
always
a white
said,
dude could be with an Asian woman or any other woman of color, and no one doesn't get mad.
Wow.
No one doesn't burn a cross on his lawn or anything. You know.
well, they always said, I remember when I was a kid, I overheard somebody who was a big bigot say it's hard on the eyes. That's what they always said. It's hard on the eyes. Whatever that is.
Well,
But I know what they're
just
trying to say.
sour grapes. That's
Right.
basically what it is.
Dumpster Baby says Cheerios should have Gary Busey do the next advert. He'll have a 60-year-old white guy married to a 21-year-old black woman with a 23-year-old acting as their daughter. That will shut up the racist assholes who are complaining about that advertising.
You're probably right. You may be right, Dumpster Baby, because I have a very sneaky feeling that the people who hate that Cheerios commercial are probably the same people who watch the show Scandal in droves. You know, because for some reason they hate to see a brother, you know, in love with any woman of any ethnicity, but yet they have no problem seeing Kerry Washington playing this black woman who's the mistress, concubine / hoe of the President of the United States.
That's basically what it is. That's basically
Well,
what the show
people
is
like
about.
hoes, I guess.
Yeah, but basically but a lot of women seem to like it. You know, well, a lot of African American women.
That kind of
like
stuff
it.
turn them on. It turns them on.
Yeah.
Here it is,
Being the mistress, yeah.
Here it is, a sister got power, basically telling the president what to do, and can sing and sleep with him anytime she gets ready.
Yes.
But but look at it. She's sleeping with him. At the same time, she has no respect that the president has a wife. She has no respect at all.
Yeah.
She gonna sleep with him regardless.
And the thing was, she had a senator that was dating her at one time,
Right.
but he proposed to her twice, and she turned down his ring twice because she'd rather be the president's whore or mistress than be a senator's wife.
Yeah,
It's just
meeting in a
sad.
secret place. She wants to be sneaky.
It's just sad.
Well, guest 94 says, why can't a black woman be portrayed as a calm, loving wife? That commercial isn't racist against whites.
That was a good question. That's a very good question. Yeah, because if you ever seen that Pepsi commercial where, you know, she's always like, the dude was catching hell from his wife, and she was always mean because that's a stereotype. I'm strong, independent. You can't tell me what to do. You know, that type of stuff. And then he drinks the Pepsi Max or whatever, and then he sees a white woman who's sitting down after jogging, and she smiles to the black dude, and then his wife gets pissed off. She's getting ready to throw the Pepsi can at her husband, but it hits the blonde chick, and then like, run before we get called out by the police. You know, it's just sad.
Tom says, I'm white and I grew up with Asian and African kids. I never looked at them from a perspective as they're a different race. I just saw them on a personal level like white kids. It was never a thing until someone brought up the terms racism, discrimination, and minority.
Yes, exactly, Tom, and that's the reason why.
We must have grown up in New York
it's
because
sad,
that's the way it was up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's sad. It's just that racism thing is just a big, huge social cancer. I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, you're right. I mean, no one doesn't bring that part up when you have, you know, it's just something just evil. I mean, think of Grey's Anatomy. Now, remember that show went on wildfire. Why? Because you had Isaiah Washington and Sandra Oh together. You had something you never see on primetime television.
Well, even Wesley Snipes did a movie a while back where he goes and he has an affair with this woman, as a white woman.
Yeah.
And they show almost the whole sex scene, and then they go to dinner and he finds out that
his wife is Asian. Yeah.
No. His wife was white, but that it belonged to, it was the wife of a friend of his that he didn't know was his friend's wife. And it was very uncomfortable when they hooked up and she's looking at him and they're looking at each other like...
Oh, yeah. I've seen that movie, One Night Stand. He actually got an award for it, too. It was One Night Stand. It was Wesley Snipes and Natasha Kinski. She played, why they had Robert Downey Jr. was in it. Robert Downey Jr. And Ming Na Wen, the Asian woman from the Joy Luck Club, she played his wife.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's just rare. I mean, that was back in 96, 97. But go back, fast forward a decade later, you have Grey's Anatomy. I mean, one thing see it in the movie, but seeing it on primetime TV, that's something else. I mean, granted, it was different, but it wasn't as controversial because we had a black guy with an Asian woman.
But why isn't that controversial? I mean, an Asian woman is not black.
Yeah, but she's not white either. That's the thing. And plus, you don't see that many Chinese Klansmen. I mean, and granted, and let's be honest,
that we don't know about.
Most of the time. It was different, and it was kind of racy, but it wasn't like I'm going to burn a cross on your lawn type of different,
Right.
Because you have white women who get pissed off seeing white men with Asian women is about as much pissed off as black women getting ticked off seeing black men with white women.
Right.
So you basically had the thing, you had black women. Okay, he's with an Asian woman. I mean, granted, at least she's a woman of color. At least she's not a white chick. And then you have white women looking at the Asian woman with the black guys. Well, okay, at least she's not with a white guy all the time. Because people know there's more. Most prevalent interracial couple in America is basically a white guy with an Asian female.
Well, Tom says, I think it'd be better as society if we can get rid of those terms that obstruct the dialogue. The problem is that there are genuine racists and they just keep the issue alive. Dumpster Baby says, Chinese KKK, better dragon. Anyway.
That's a good one.
Anyway, listen, we're going to have, in a minute, we're going to talk a little bit about, Saibuki had sent me this book a while back about, except for you today, we all have mustaches and beards and all that, Ed, myself, you. I'm sure that, I think Saibuki has one as well. We're going to be talking about...
Walmart the other day with one.
Sam?
I saw a lady at Walmart. She had
with a mustache
and a little braided beard.
Oh, I know her.
A little braided beard.
Yeah. She was actually at a policeman's meeting. She's got white hair. She's got her hair up, and she's got a little long beard. All
serious?
braided.
I used to have to pay to get in to see a bearded white lady at the circus. Now I can just go to Walmart.
She's about 70 years old, right? Somewhere in there. By the time you reach that age, who gives a crap?
Yeah, I'm sure DS would bang her now.
But she has something like this, actually, which is the first thing we're going to be talking about. Ed, why don't you hold that picture up? This is, what's so funny is that beard and mustaches really started out in Africa. And it was part of the looks that the pharaohs had.
Yes.
And that's why you see the pharaohs today, when you look at the hieroglyphs, they have that thing. You always think it's some kind of a tube or something, or
you need to scan
a bunch of Jay Lenos.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a scanner on that thing, don't you?
Yeah. I was gonna take scanner pictures, but I guess you guys saw it. And basically, I'm gonna read a paragraph of where it came from. In the early classical civilizations, we first see the deliberate styling of a man's facial hair. From an unruly and unchecked growth hacked with sharpened stones to a refined symbol of manhood, wisdom, and prestige. In the Homeric epics of the ancient Greece, beards was celebrated and portrayed as a badge of virility. When asking for a royal favor, it became a form of entreaty to touch the beard of your king. A smooth face was condemned as a sign of effeminacy to the point where the terrifying macho Spartans took to punishing those they considered to be cowards by shaving off their beards. Isn't that funny? The ancient Egyptians, on the other hand, were a bit on the fair side. They didn't much care for face fuzz. Copper and gold razors used by the pharaohs have been unearthed in Egyptian tombs. While it may have been fashionable to be soft-cheeked, to give the Egyptians their effeminate due, they did at least try to enhance the hair they did have on their chins, usually with henna-based dyes or plates laced with gold thread to show their ranking in society. Ultimately, only beards that were really valued by Egyptians were fake ones, and queens, kings, and sometimes even sacred cows took to wearing the ornate chin covers fashioned with precious metals known as postages.
Yes.
Luckily, the next great civilizations to come along, the Mesopotamia and Persia, were far more in tune with their beard itself. The upper class grew their beards long and took great pains to style them, using special oils and heated tongs to create long patterned tresses and decorated ringlets. There you have it. That's the first part of beard and mustache management.
From a book that Saibuki sent to us.
Yeah, this is a great book, by the way. Really it tells you all about all the styles and.
Where did he get it from? Saibuki.
Somewhere in England.
Somewhere in England, yeah.
Somewhere in England.
Yeah, Saibuki's from England.
Oh, okay.
In the UK. Anyway, there we go. CB says she had air elsewhere. Take your pick. that was Morning Road. And good morning, AJ. And Tom says the Syrians were famous for their beard.
They were.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jungle fever.
Jungle fever. Yeah.
Wow.
I always never liked that term, jungle fever. So it's basically saying,
if a white person and a black person got together and fall in love, they must be sick.
That type of stuff.
Well, maybe if they wore a beard, maybe they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be as offended by it. I still can't believe we're still talking about that whole issue when it comes to like people getting uncomfortable with interracial.
Yeah, I mean it's a freaking cereal. It's a cereal commercial.
Well,
just 30 seconds.
But look at what brought that out. A freaking cereal commercial brings out the truth and the character of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe now they're going to start complaining about white wall tires. The tire's mostly black, but they put a white face on it.
Yeah. Or if they watch Animal Planet, they talk about birds. Birds are the most racist animals on Earth. You know why? Yeah. Because even their poop comes out white.
Yeah. Or why are eggs? Why are brown eggs sold separately than white eggs? Right?
Yeah. Why is the outside brown and the inside white?
Why, when you go and play billiards, is the white ball smacking all the colored ball?
And then the black ball is the last one they take down.
Yeah.
And then like the pattern in the floor of the pool is green.
Well,
like the earth.
Let me
and people thought that the earth was flat.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of black people that love bowling. It's a black ball hitting the white pins.
Yeah. Well, rednecks.
With redneck. Anyway, Dumpster Baby says only a week ago Walmart kicked off and accused a white man of kidnapping biracial kids. Guess that's bullshit. No one gave a shit. The media concocted racial controversy to sell ads.
Exactly.
Yep.
Tom says then I'm a racist too because my poo is always brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
But guess. Yeah, I'm sure no one didn't give a damn. I'm quite sure no one. But the thing was, the media concocted racial media to sell ads. I don't think it was the media itself. I just think it was the people who was watching the commercial through YouTube and put on it because, like, it's just another form of cyberbullying. They basically just, since they're behind a computer, they're unknown. Their face is not showing all around the world.
Right.
And they could basically just act a freaking fool and just be as.
I mean, they do that on Facebook with their faces and pictures of their friends and their family. Oh, by the way, speaking of, we were talking about Walmart, right?
Right.
Okay, speaking of Walmart, just want to put this out there because I've been getting a lot of friends sending me Walmart gift cards. That shit don't work. You know what they want to do? That application tries to take all your information off of Facebook. So any of those Walmart, you want a voucher bullshit,
right?
Don't send them to me and eliminate it from your Facebook site because that is the way the hackers get into your Facebook site. They get all your information. It's bullshit. You're not going to get a $5,000 gift card from Walmart.
Yeah.
Go to Walmart and see if the cashier will give you the thing. If not, forget about it. Don't do it.
Right.
Guess as... Well, let's say, Tom says, No, I'm sorry. Guest says on 94, the media has you concerned about racism while your black sisters are thriving and leaving black men behind and blaming the race instead of male disposability.
You're being
duped.
Well, yeah. Well, we're not the only ones being duped. I mean, you have. I mean, the same. Like I said before, the same people who are complaining about the Cheerios commercial are the same people who probably watch Scandal every Thursday night.
Oh, most definitely.
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, come on. If you're going to get pissed off about a 30-second commercial, but you're not pissed off about a sister being the president's mistress on a 60-minute show. A whole hour, yeah. Well, 60 minutes versus 30 seconds. I mean, come on. Take your pick.
It's more accepting.
Yeah.
Anyway. You know what? This is all bullshit. You know, like I said, people, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people out of work. It's gotten so bad that there was a furor over having a tea kettle that looked like Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And people were furious about this. And it made headlines. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's a freaking tea kettle.
Well, look at the terrorist bombing in where they blamed it on a YouTube video.
Yeah.
For a week. Mm-hmm. So it just goes to show you, you feed people media and they see it enough, they believe it.
Because it's the media, they're going to accept it. They're going to automatically accept it.
The local media here is too PC. You don't get the real news. That's why we're here.
Exactly.
Wow. Tell it like it is, right, Herb?
Yeah, how it is, kid.
I agree, yes. Same here. I agree with Mr. Jumps the Baby. It says racism is horseshit. White and black people being together shouldn't beg any questions. Nothing is wrong with it. Exactly. Like that same BS with the Wilcox County High School prom. Yeah. My Bibb County high schools were integrated in 1970. So we're like, it's 4 decades too late beating a dead horse. You're like beating the bones off of it now. I mean, it's not even we shouldn't even be worrying about this in this century, in this millennium. You know, I mean, if you can go to school together, you go to class together, you can eat lunches together, you can play ball together, you can go to detention together and graduate together, you should be able to dance together.
Exactly.
You know.
Wow.
Well, you know, it's sad that we're still stuck in the Stone Ages, but look at those other countries that are stuck where we were way back in 1960. Mm-hmm. They're still there. They're still cleansing their society by killing people.
Well, you know, there's a story coming out of Vietnam about dogs being abused and sent over there to be killed and slaughtered as a delicacy. Did you ever?
They eat dogs.
They eat dogs.
Koreans eat dogs too, man. Where you been them? You didn't know.
Well, I know that. Don't Chinese people eat cats?
Well,
I know that because they consider them like rabbits. Like they say, it tastes the same. A cat and a rabbit.
It tastes like chicken. Everything tastes like chicken.
Our furry little creatures are under attack. Now they got the dogs, which I didn't know about, but they're going to Vietnam by the thousands, and right now they're trying to stop that from happening. And you should see, they had, cages and cages and cages, literally, of little dogs and stuff, just barking away, some of them scared. It's terrible. Here in America, the dog is like a family member. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like a Holocaust for dogs over there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
you could say the same thing for chickens being a Holocaust over here.
Yeah, but
you know,
that's true. And cows.
Mm-hmm.
And
you got Burger King, Wendy's, and McDonald's almost in every corner.
Tom says, I don't want to make this a new topic. Hey, listen, we are always welcoming new topics. So just a quick remark. In my country, media is very influenced by Islam-sympathizing journalists. And they repeated the same one-sided reports over and over again. And now everyone thinks the Palestinians are a big victim of the evil Israeli. I've been to Palestine and Israel, I know the truth. But most others don't. Very interesting. Because I have a different point of view. Maybe it's what they're selling us. There's a lot of them as compared to the Israelis. But I have always said that I like President Carter as not only was he, in my eyes, he was a good president. He wasn't the best. I think he was just too Christian to be a president. You got to be a son of a bitch to be president, like Bush
like
and Reagan. You got to be a real scumbag to be president. But what I do believe is that, in fact, like Carter, Israel is a bit of a pompous ass place. They really, go out of their way to make. I don't think it's a democracy, to be honest with you. It kind of looks like one, but it doesn't feel like one. And so I would agree with you on that point, Tom. I don't think we're being told the whole truth.
You never be. You will never be told the whole truth.
Yeah.
Never.
And so I'm sure the media is owned by Al Jazeera.
Yeah.
That was sold by Al Gore.
Yeah. Tom, what country are you from? I mean, I'll just wonder.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, Tom, where are you from, Tom? What area? Belgium.
Oh, Belgium. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
welcome, my God. We got Belgium on. Shit.
How about that?
Ring the bells in Belgium.
Okay.
Guess.
Maybe we ought to go to Tom's house and do the show.
Okay. Guess
sit in his living room.
Guess 94 says, I don't care if black people and white people get along as long as his rights are respected. Yeah, true. Racism is a problem, but it's a problem that is exploited by the media and feminism for profit. Victimhood is $1 billion.
That's
industry.
true.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
true. The lawyers make a lot of money off of this shit. And at one time,
even Jodi Arias is probably making money somehow, some way. Or at least her lawyer.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She's writing a book. She's writing a book out.
There'll be a movie out in 4 months.
But she won't be able to get the money for that, I'm sure.
There'll be a movie out in 4 months.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're going to have, Lifetime's making a movie out right now.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably making it all this time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised.
And
guest 18 says, when it comes to doggy style, he's behind his wife 100%.
Anyway, woof woof. Well, we were just talking about, and I had a thought I wanted to put out there.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about.
We were talking about cyberbullying about dogs or something being.
Just now, you guys were making comment. All right, it'll come back. DS Photo Guy says chickens never saved Timmy when he fell down the well.
You gotta, you're right.
That's funny.
You're right.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, well, they can't even fly.
Yeah.
Chickens can't fly. Well, they can, but they kind of jump.
But they can't cross the road.
Yeah.
I guess 50 says never reward a terrorist.
Unless Colonel Sanders chasing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
That's why the chicken crossed the road.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah, they can fly better than you think.
Biscuit and mashed potatoes on the side.
Well, you heard about the Hillary Clinton special, right?
With the Hillary Clinton special?
Yeah.
What?
Too small. Two
Ellen,
wings, a fat ass, whatever it is.
Ellen Macon says it's just stupid. I feel that this subject about the commercial is even coming up in this day.
Don't boo me.
Okay.
Don't boo me.
Yeah.
But look, get the punchline right. I'm just saying, you got to be honest with the thing. You got to tell the truth. You got to get the delivery, man.
Okay.
I'm just saying. This is not my news.
It's
just
Monday, man.
It's Monday, and we're still. Would you rather hear about the serial than about more death and mayhem? I get people complaining that we get too many horror stories here.
Ellen Megan says.
Are we going to talk about cereal for an hour and a half today?
No, we're not going to talk about. Ellen Megan says it's just stupid. I feel that there's something about the commercials even coming up in this.
We don't want to get Cheerios in free publicity.
Yeah, unless you're going
to pay us.
Yes, exactly. But I do have a story though. It's really kind of bad. Speaking of cyberbullying and when you were talking about Facebook and with that fake Walmart, gift card, $5,000 gift card voucher and stuff. There was a teen shot behind the library during that. He was a teenager that was beaten a year before on a video that went like viral on YouTube and World Star Hip Hop. Mm-hmm. And this was in Cleveland this last week. The teen shot and killed behind a West Side library Tuesday afternoon has been in the media spotlight before, unfortunately, infamously.
Right.
Mustafa McWhorter was 18 years old, was shot to death behind the library of Lorraine Avenue and West 116th Street. Police said McWhorter was walking with another man on Lorraine Avenue when they got into a confrontation with someone in a red pickup truck. Police said a person in that red truck pulled out a gun and opened fire on McWhorter, hitting him in the chest. McWhorter was taken to the hospital, but he did not survive. McWhorter had been in the news before. He and his mother spoke exclusively to Fox 8 in May of 2012, a year ago, almost a year ago to this month, after a video of him being brutally beaten went viral. And I've seen, we can't show because the kid is underage at that time. He was 17 at the time, so we can't play it.
There it is, the Hillary special. 2 fat thighs with a small breast and a left wing.
All right.
Well,
good.
We were talking about dogs just a minute ago. This is another reason why pit bulls get such a bad rap. You know, they could be the greatest, sweetest animals. They're very, very strong and aggressive, and they're very active. Anybody that can't handle a dog like that shouldn't have one. And the reason I say this is because stories like this happen. Owner of pit bulls could face charges after attack. This is here in Macon.
This past weekend.
This past weekend, the owner of 2 pit bulls that attacked a Macon woman Thursday could face charges.
They should.
They should.
If a pit bull, which is most pit bulls are extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
And when the owners are going to buy these pit bulls, most of the owners are buying the pit bulls just so when they are out with their pit bull, other people can say, "Oh, you got a pit bull." That's the reason why most people get the pit bull.
Well, they want to feel important, and they want to feel like they got some. It's a status thing.
And then they can't control them.
It's want to be feeling power.
They don't train them right.
The owners that
it's like basically
they should be face charged.
It's like carrying a gun, basically a gun with teeth.
They should face charged. They really should.
Because and once they grab hold of you, B, they don't let go.
No, they get. Their mouth has like what 500 to 600 pounds of pressure.
And they have something called any bulldog or pit bull, whether it be pit bull, bulldog, whatever. They have something called lockjaw, where they literally lock into you,
just like a pair of vice
and they don't let go.
Oh yeah,
unless you knock them out. Kara Cotton, with the Macon County Sheriff's Office, says the district attorney will review the case before determining what charges may be filed. According to an incident report from the Sheriff's Office, a lady who lives in the 5300 block of Houston Road near Skyview Mobile Home Park was in a yard just after 1 p.m. when she was attacked by the 2 dogs, which had apparently gotten out of their enclosure. The victim suffered severe bite wounds to her head, face, neck, arms, and a foot during the attack. A neighbor beat the dogs with a stick to get them off the victim. The dog's owner were apparently not home. 5 minutes later, Bibb County deputies shot both of the dogs after they charged him.
They should have shot him.
And in a report, the deputy wrote that he feared for his life after watching one of the dogs scale an 8'10" fence and charge toward him.
But the thing about it, Irvin, when the dogs came after the cops, the dogs climbed back over the fence and came back after him.
I know, that's what it said. And an 8 to 10 foot fence.
They were determined.
They're like cats.
That's out of control.
And then the second dog was shot after a charge a deputy from behind. That's scary.
Jeez, man, I'm afraid to get any of those dogs, even the puppies. I mean, they could scale a fence. I'd be afraid for them. Like they try to pick the lock on my car doors and try to carjack.
If you want to get a good dog, get you a teacup Yorkie. You don't have nothing to worry about.
I've seen a schnauzer jump from the floor, grab somebody by the neck, right there.
Jeez.
Because it's his jugular vein.
Right.
Dumpster Baby says pit bulls are misunderstood. They're not violent. They're just capable of doing a lot more damage than another dog.
That's called
They're
violence.
very affectionate. The only reason they would have to attack somebody is how they've been brought up.
That's correct.
True.
That's true. American Stratford Terrier is what they're known as. I guess.
Yeah, that's the actual
that's
technical
what the
term.
pit bull.
You ever try to train a cat? Besides kitty litter box training? You can't train a cat.
Dumpster baby.
They want.
Dumpster baby says
that's why I don't like cats. They got too much
I don't like
attitude.
cats either. Their urine just drives me crazy.
You can't. I'm sorry. I can't stand with an animal have an animal with that type of attitude, and they don't even pay any rent. I'm sorry. You know,
well,
water bill.
Dumpster baby says I got a Stratford Bull Terrier. They're known as nanny dog because it's against their nature to attack people.
That's very true. Very true because people don't. I don't know that many people know this, but the dog and the Little Rascals, Petey the dog. He was a pit bull.
Yeah, he was. With a nice black eye. I wonder why.
Speaking of the Kennel Club, I got a story.
Pit bull is a direct threat to my safety. Pit bulls have no place in the urban environment. That's Guest 62. He believes
Guest
that.
62 also says prison sentence for pit bull owners. It should be because if you got those dogs, which there's a 45% chance that most people that have them can't control them, they don't pay to have them trained. You got to secure those dogs
exactly
in your yard. You can't put no little small piece of rope around the neck because they're gonna break it.
And not
you
only
need a chain.
Not only that, I think the way they train these dogs, and what you call it training, is they throw these rope things where they bite into it and they start playing around with them and doing all sorts of shit. That's like the worst thing you can do with a pit bull because it only shows it brings out their aggression. And they think anytime you have something dangling off of you, they can go after and start ripping it apart. I mean, it is in the training. And you're right. The Kennel Club calls them the nanny dogs because they're great with kids. And then Ellen Macon says, my parents had 2 pits, and they're sweet dogs. Just don't mess with my parents.
Yes.
They are real protective. You're right, they are, but that's the point. Do you really want a dog that is good with protection, but can't be stopped once they go after somebody?
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just getting a picture from what I guess Thompson. Yeah, the strongest dog in the world, including its bite, is not the pit bull though. It's the South African Boer bull. Which, if you ever seen the picture of that, sent the link. It's just basically kind of like a.
The dog is bigger than the owner.
Yeah, it's like
his head. Look at his head. The head is the size of a lion.
It's like a freaking it's like a
full-fledged lion.
That looks like a mastiff.
Yeah,
that's a mastiff. No,
a mastiff on steroids.
What's it called?
The Boer Bowl.
Yeah, BOERBOEL.
Wow.
BOER.
That is a big ass dog.
That dog is too big.
Yeah.
Now think about how she's controlling that dog. Do you think
not
that
only
dog
that, all that slobbering. Those dogs, they spit all over the place. Ugh.
I mean, you can't just give them some regular, Scooby snacks.
And that's why I don't like those kind of bulldogs.
That looks like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. I don't like bulldogs with all that slobbering, that overhang, and all that.
That's
what was a sweet cat? See, that's the type of dog that you need. Like, if you're basically, if you're like, you've got like, Bill Gates type money. If you're a billionaire and you're afraid someone's gonna break you, see, that's the type of dog that you need right there.
Yeah.
Yes. The Boer Bulls are sweet characters, though. They're great with people and deals full together. I would not want to pick up after that pooch.
Yeah, when that dog's hungry, you better have food ready.
Yes.
Or they're gonna be eating you.
Yeah, well, Dumpster Baby say they're social dog, they need affection. Some people leave them locked up. This makes them violent.
Not necessarily.
This is tons of, they're great with people except intruders. Yeah, I'm quite sure.
Well, I guess says, I don't care whose fault it is, my safety takes priority. Guess 94 says pit bulls are not more aggressive, but when they are, they're dangerous. It's giving a baby a gun.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's true.
And that thing takes huge shit. Beer, sports cards, yeah, especially when you overfeed them.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Anyway.
A story about some more dogs.
You talk about dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Club. This came up, actually I heard about a month and a half ago.
All right, you want to hold that till after break? It's now 10 o'clock. Or
it's a quick story.
It's a quick one, yeah. This is about AKC records cannot be trusted. It says AKC, American, Kennel Club, continues to cover fraudulent records for alleged descendants of Lo Franco TNT Trevor Nordland, including Susmiria's Woolward Silver Sixpence, handled by Diana Wilson and mariachi high voltage at Glacier Creek, handled by Monica Lamontagne. Exhibitors are spending thousands of dollars, and handlers are losing money showing against dogs that should not be in the ring. Says this would not happen in any other sport, should not be allowed in AKC events, including this month's AKC/Yukonaba National Championships held in Orlando. Says basically this is about Cuvas pedigree fraud. Says the Canadian Kennel Club confirms that Lofranco TNT Trevor Norland was ineligible for registration with the American Kennel Club. Says Mr. Dennis Sprung wrote was written to him by Darla Lofranco. Says, I'm the breeder owner of the dog, and there are no litter applications signed by me. I'm requesting any alleged descendants of Trevor can be canceled, including Zamara's Woolworth Silver Sixpence, one of the top show dogs of 2012. I'm also requesting the Worker Group Breeder of the Year 2012 be canceled. You were well aware of the fraudulent records prior to presenting the award at AKC Yukonaba National Championship Show on December 16, 2012. I look forward to hearing from you at your earliest convenience. Sincerely, Darla Lofranco.
All right, this is about breed fraud.
Yeah, basically breed fraud, where people like trying to I guess they're trying to raise up the ante and like getting people to buy certain pets. Like some puppies would be $500, and some would be like $700, $750. Come from a certain
breed. But meanwhile, they're just mutts.
Yeah, pretty much.
On that note.
And that note, it's time for a break, I guess.
Time for a mutt break.
Yeah, it's 10:02 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And Megan, it's 71 degrees. It's actually getting hotter, but it's still cloudy. Go figure. And there's a chance of showers with a high of 86 and a low of 69 degrees. You're watching The Morning Roast with Irv, yours truly, DB, guest host Mike Hicks, and Ed. We'll be right back.
Stay right there.
You can now eat your Whopper like a pole horse eats its oats, or Bob Dylan played his harmonica. A human on-the-go trough. Hey guys, I'm Patrick Jones for Buzz 60. To celebrate 50 years in Puerto Rico, Burger King is giving out 50 hands-free Whopper holders. There's even a video that shows all the glorious things you can do while not being bogged down by actually holding your burger. It looks like so many activities. It's an advertising joke, but look me in the eyes and tell me you wouldn't use it. Although you'd probably be wearing condiments. The only pitfall I can think of is how do you eat the second half? You would need to be like the aliens from Alien with that second mouth that comes out of its mouth. Or actually stop what you're doing and use your hands. Buzz 60, now pass it on.
Forget about Kimye Spawn. It's the love child of the croissant and donut that's got everybody acting manic this summer. What's up, everybody? This is Rena Creepa Johnson with your Buzz 60 Disgusting or Delicious. The Cronut is a croissant donut hybrid from Dominique Ansel Bakery in New York City. Think layers of flaky croissant dough, deep fried, injected with Tahitian vanilla cream, and then coated with a glaze. I won't even insult this pastry messiah by asking the question. Clearly delicious. But unlike other food hybrids, like Blondie's, the Cronut is almost a phenomenon. The bakery reportedly sells out of the treat by noon every day. It has its own movement and webpage. There are even Craigslist scalpers willing to wait in line for the Cronut and deliver it for up to $40 per piece. So this is what Aristotle meant when he said the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Buzz 60, now you know. Pass it on.
Officer Jim Crooker has worked in the Portland Police Bureau for 2 years, and in that time, he was never thrown out of a restaurant until he walked into this one.
At first, it was a little bit humiliating, and a little bit frustrating, because part of the reason I go into...
Sorry, technical, they just logged up. Sorry, we'll come back into it. Fucking program does this now.
Leave Barney alone. What's come over you?
Oh, I'm
sorry. Well, I guess it's just a case of opening night jitters.
But Fred, you've
All
never...
right, we just go back now. It's locked up.
Okay, we'll be back.
We said all the videos.
We're back.
You're back.
Yeah, we got exposed by Fred Flintstone.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's the first time I ever saw Fred Flintstone without a shirt on.
Yeah.
Fred wanted to be on the morning roast, man.
Only here do you see a naked Fred Flintstone.
Yeah. As you know, this is the third final hour of the morning roast with Irv, DB, Ed, and our guest host Mike Hicks.
The last hour.
Yes, because it's only a 3-hour show. You know that, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a 3-hour show, kid.
We need more time, man.
I know.
Yeah, we do need more time.
Yeah.
Hey,
let's take the time.
Do
Let's
your
just
roll,
take it.
buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Do your roll.
Hey, Yurak, you'll get the recipe. How was your show this week, by the way, buddy? I know Yurak Wildcat has a show here on Vaughn where he cooks and cooking at the Cat House, I think it's called.
Or the Cat Cave or something like that?
At the Cat Cave.
Yeah.
At the Cat Cave, right.
Yeah,
We're the Nut House.
Yeah, Cat House is totally different.
Yeah, cooking at the Cat Cave.
Yeah.
And how come he's got Fred Flintstone up?
I got like a 2-3 minute delay.
God, man. Talk about a delay.
Messed up. Something messed up with the internet this morning.
Yeah, do you think it's weather related or something?
I don't know.
Because it was raining like, well, not even, it wasn't even cats and dogs. It was raining like mountain lions and wolves.
I don't know. But I'm going to look at somebody else to do our shows through. I don't like all these rules.
But,
to worry about having kids.
Yeah, as I said before, in the briefly talked about in the last hour, there was a teenager from Cleveland, Ohio, 18-year-old Mustafa McWhorter was shot to death behind the library in Lorraine Avenue and West 116th Street in Cleveland, Ohio. And police say that McWhorter was walking with another guy on Lorraine Avenue when they got into a confrontation with a person in a red pickup truck who pulled a gun and opened fire on McWhorter, fatally hitting him in the chest. And what's ironic and sad about it that he was also been on the news before. Unfortunately, wasn't anything good. A year before that, a year to the month that he was shot, he was in a video being brutally beaten by a group of people, and it was just really, really terrible. He says his mother, basically McWhorter, who was being interviewed to one of the reporters on Fox 8, he says, "I just remember we were fighting. Once I saw the video, it all came back to me. I guess he slammed me a couple of times and I hit my head on the ground." McWhorter said during the 2012 interview. He had this message for the man who attacked him on the video. "If I could say something to him, I'd say you did wrong, you did wrong," McWhorter said in May of 2012. And if you're everyone who's seen the video, or at least part of it, I'll probably send a link to you. It's really, really, really terrible, really graphic. We can't show it on there because the guy was underage at the time, and it was just really sad. The guy had to be killed like that. I mean, it's bad enough injury that he was already beaten in one video, went viral. Then a year later, he gets killed. But so far, no one has been caught and convicted for that crime or for this one. And now police need to catch McWhorter's killer. If anyone information in the Cleveland area knows anything about the killer of McWhorter, they're urged to call the Cleveland Police Homicide Unit at 216-623-5464. That's 216-623-5464.
Okay.
Tragic story.
I want to switch gears here a little bit. I want to really talk about this IRS scandal a little bit because it really affects everybody. And the way that they're playing it in the media seems to be a little over the top when it comes to accusing them of politics. I think if you're going to accuse them of anything, you know, they really got to get their act together as far as, you know, how to do their job. But again, I really think that it's because a lot of these so-called programs that are out there, whether it's a Republican or Democrat, they want to try to get over not paying taxes. And so I think that they were inundated with a lot of applications, and they weren't sure how to handle this shit, so they started compartmentalizing them. And it was more like maybe a stupid way of doing it, but to me, I probably would have done the same thing. I would have, compartmentalized him, and I don't think it was a political thing. But in any case, I have a story here. The IRS gift rule turns on politics as crisis prompts reform taxes. The last time the IRS waded into a fight on politically active nonprofit groups, the agency capitulated quickly and let people make undisclosed, untaxed payments to groups financing ad campaigns.
Right.
In 2011, under pressure from Republicans, the IRS shut down an attempt to impose gift taxes on donations to so-called social welfare organizations. The move led to a free-for-all by donors by clearing up decades of ambiguity on how it would enforce the law, an attorney for Hunton Williams LPBVD in Los Angeles said. I'm not even going to try to do his name there. The new controversy surrounding IRS scrutiny of small government groups focuses attention again on how the agency handles politically sensitive issues. Lessons from the 2011 episode were obvious and yet recurred in 2013 as a lack of clear rules and management left the agency vulnerable to employee misconduct, opened to charges of bias against Republicans and their allies, and flat-footed when confronted with the outcry from lawmakers. It took a crisis to get reform, and I think that's where we are now. Again, I don't know how, personally, what they were thinking, whether they were thinking, oh, I don't like these groups, screw them, we're going to go after them. Or it was more like, we got all these applications, all these people are trying to file for a tax break, but we don't really even know what the hell they're doing.
Right.
Because a lot of them get donors that are not listed. A lot of them have more than 10%, which is, I believe, the legal limit they're allowed to under the current law. I may be wrong about that, but it was mentioned on the Talking Heads. About 10% of their jobs or whatever the hell they're doing, their focus is on political campaigns. And so if they're going to be a nonprofit, it's more about serving the community and doing good community good. And in their mind, they're saying, well, community good is, pushing the Republican agenda to some of these people.
I was just reading what Guest 6286-412 said. IRS singling out conservatives, Christians, or Republicans most certainly is political warfare. Christians are now on the terrorist suspects list, and you can't see this as blatant Christians being court-martialed out of the military. It is 100% persecution. I don't know about that, about being court-martialed out of the military.
And where is that happening?
Yeah. Could you name where it is? Because the only Christians that were so-called Christians that would be considered terrorists would probably be like the Westboro Church. They always go to the funerals of veterans, talking trash about them, because gay marriage is legal in certain states, and they just basically just hounding them on at their funeral, which is, I think this is disrespect, because people, no matter what you agree with or disagree with, they deserve to be at least have a decent burial. They are not going to harm you. They're not going to rise up from the grave like the Thriller video, like the Amazon Thriller video. They at least deserve that much respect for that.
Well,
so,
City Bum says, to be fair, liberal tree huggers are in the same list. That's true. And Christians being court-martialed out of the military is 100% persecution. Tom says, I think you're exaggerating, 628, but I do think Christians are being antagonized. The atheist majority is being victimized for some mysterious reason, and we're supposed to think that Muslims are all good people, in a nutshell. Guess 94 says Christians are being kicked out of the military for their beliefs. They get kicked out indoctrinating people on government property, which is unconstitutional. Well, they're not indoctrinating, they're proselytizing. Indoctrination is a little too heavy a code word there.
Yeah.
They do talk about Jesus on, that's what Christians do. Sorry. Well, wait, I seem to remember little things called the Inquisition, while the Christians were the terrorists. You're talking how many years ago now?
What, 500-600 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Spanish Inquisition, yeah.
And Tom says wrong. Catholics did the Inquisition, Protestant Christians were the victim.
Yeah, Protestant Christians. Yeah, were the victim.
Anyway, well, at one time the Catholic Church would cut off your hand if you were black and had a Bible.
Or if you were left-handed.
Yeah.
So I probably just have both my hands cut off.
It's a lot of things that the Catholic churches.
But I will say this, for a time there, I myself was very, very upset with, and not to start a racial war here, but being a Muslim is not race; it's a belief. But for a time there, I was very upset with the Muslims because during the time of 9/11 and soon thereafterwards, you saw millions of them jumping with glee and glory over Americans that were killed. And I didn't hear any Muslim leader speaking up about that. Mm-hmm. And it really made me upset. I didn't hear Louis Farrakhan talking about it. And you know what? I was a big, big fan of, not of Farrakhan, but of Malcolm X. Mm-hmm. And I know if he was alive, he would have talked about it. He would have said something.
Oh, yeah, most definitely Malcolm X would have said something.
Because he said wrong is wrong, where the word comes from.
Right. And so during that time, soon after 9/11, I didn't hate him because I didn't really hate anybody, but I was really, really upset with them. And the fact that they didn't speak out at all against what was happening. And as a matter of fact, they were dancing around like a bunch of minstrels with their big smiles and their glory, in full glory. They were celebrating the death of Americans. Mm-hmm. And, I just thought that was kind of wacky. And it's not so much that you see a few of them doing, but when you see whole freaking countries doing this shit,
mm-hmm.
It was almost ludicrous. And there wasn't really one leader in the community to speak up against the atrocities that were being done. Now, true, they're saying what's good for the goose is good for the gander. The Muslims have been struggling for many, many centuries now in the Middle East against a lot of hate. But so have the Christians. And so have the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And so have
that's why we have the Crusades. The Crusades.
The Buddhists in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
And,
in Tibet.
And Tibet.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
Man has injured other man to himself. Basically, it's on the world over. I mean, no one's pretty much is immune to it, right. whether you're a believer or a non-believer. I mean,
well, Guest 94 says Catholics also educated the Western world with a university system and introduced the concept of human rights. As much bad as the church did, it done more than any institution in the world as far as human evolution. They don't even believe in evolution.
I was just reading what City Bum says. That's true, Dave. Remember, the left Latin word for left is sin. Left-handed sinister. Yeah, because dexterity is right hand. That's why the name Dexter is
that's
left-handed.
Bullshit.
Right hand, excuse me. And then it said left hand is sinister. That's why the Latin word for left is sin.
Yeah, people that think that would burn a witch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these people are nuts. The fact of it is that if you're left-handed, your brain is thinking on the right side.
Yeah.
So everything is in reverse.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of some really sinister situations, basically there's a story that I've heard that Eva Longoria makes $12 million a year and wants a divorce and spousal support.
She's crazy.
This is from Forbes. It says actress Eva Longoria filed for divorce today after 3 years of marriage to basketball star Tony Parker, citing irreconcilable differences. As part of the filing, the Desperate Housewives star reportedly is looking for spousal support despite being one of the highest paid actresses on television.
She's crazy as hell. The reason why I say
that. Well, what do you think? What do you think? You think he played on her?
Well, yeah, he played on it.
Doesn't matter if he played on her or not. She don't need no spousal support. That lady making $12 million of what a year?
Yeah, $12 million a year.
He don't need no. She just doing that for the hell of it. Simple
well, she's doing it to hurt him. I mean,
I think she's doing it. I think she's doing it to spite him because he played on her.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly. He says,
crazy, man.
Says even if she does get it, it shouldn't be for no more than 1.5 years, half the length of the marriage.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yeah, Bubblegum Shrimp said that. He says the bullshit thing of it is, I don't think that all prenups could cover spousal support, maintenance during the separation, just alimony, maintenance post-separation. If the guy's attorney didn't word it correctly, I bet he'll wind up shelling spousal support as long as the divorce takes. He says it would be wise to make one cash offer just to get rid of her. If she won't accept it, though, it will likely take him to court over it. And Black Knight says, did he cheat on her? And then he says, does it matter? If she cheated on him, would he give spousal support?
Exactly.
Probably not.
No. You know what?
It depends on whether he brings it up.
That type of system is really designed for the female anyway. Because I have a friend, I'm not going to mention his name because, of who he is, but he worked for 3 years for child support recovery here in Macon.
Really?
And he used to tell me some horror stories. He used to tell me some stories, and he knew that they were lying, but he was really powerless. He would tell me stories of how these women would go in these offices, and they would just say tell so many lies, and the next thing you know, the guy gets a piece of paper saying he got to pay $500 a week child support, and he ain't even making $500 a week. They go in there telling lies.
Yeah.
They go in there telling lies, and the guy has no clue as to what's going on.
Well, you see, but here's the thing. I blame that on the guy because Beer Sports Card says I spent $5,000. Okay, you spend money, but on my lawyer trying to get my kids from my baby mama, I served her. Did you win? Did you win custody?
I was about to say.
It's in the process.
Aside from that,
6 months.
Aside from that story. Aside from the Eva Longoria story, there was something that happened, I think last month. It was about this guy who was a lawyer, and he basically had to record what his wife was going to do. So his wife, or soon to be ex-wife, because I doubt if he ever staying with her now. Mm-hmm. He's probably getting a divorce with her. The thing is, she was basically said, you got 30 days to get your stuff out, or I'm just gonna call the police and say that you beat me. And that's going to be an end of it. And then, luckily, if he didn't have that recording, he would have been screwed up. He'd been up the river. He would have been disbarred because he was a lawyer. And he says, "Why are you doing this to me?" And she just basically just went on, "Cause I fucking feel like it." And that's because she felt like it and did it. And then
that's the mindset of most of those women. Yeah. When they go file that child support on them guys, most of them are doing it for the hell of it. The only way, and I had a late judge, that tell me this in Bibb County. He said when it comes to spousal support, man paying a woman for child support, he said the best thing that he can do is sign himself up for child support. Show the people, hey, this is exactly what I'm making. This is what I can afford. And he said when he does that and show the people at child support what he's making, that will protect him because sooner or later she is going to come in there with lies.
Wow. Well, and here's the thing, be a sports guy, and that's funny you say that. He says, oh yeah, my lawyer said not to be in the same room as her without someone else there. And that they actually call the police. They stand in front of the door, and if you try to get out, they call the cops.
Yeah. And see, they don't realize if they standing at the front of the door and not letting you out, they're holding you against your will because you want to leave. That's kidnapping.
Well, sure as hell.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, the laws are designed to protect women because so many years women were not protected. And so now they're on the other extreme, trying to find ways of compensating a lot of the stuff. I mean, and based on history,
I don't even think they're doing it just to compensate, just to rectify the stuff from the past. They're just basically trying to get over on that one particular individual. Point blank.
Of course.
I mean, just like this woman who's the wife of a lawyer, basically trying to spread his name just for the hell of it, not because of what he did do, is what he didn't do.
Look, man, it's like this. When them women go to them to do this child support, they already got the cocky ass attitude that they're gonna get what they want anyway.
Well, of course, why? That's why family courts. Why do you think women file 70% of the divorces? Listen, if there was zero guarantee that they weren't gonna get anything from a divorce, there would be a lot less divorces.
When it comes to that, man, this judge, the late judge, that told me, he said, when it comes to this child support, he said the best way to deal with these women is two ways. He said if a man is buying something for the child, especially when the mama and the dad are not living in the same house or they have differences 24/7, he said whenever he goes and buys something, he should write it down. When he sends her or give her money for child support, don't give her cash money. Give her a postal money order, and he keeps the receipt. That's the best way a man can protect himself from a woman who's threatening him with this mess about getting the baby. They're not telling the people at the child support office that the man is genuinely trying to come and pick up his kid. They're not going to tell the people at the child support office that I'm not going to let him see his baby because he didn't give me my money last week. See, they're not going to tell them people at child support that. Why? Because if they do, them people at child support is not going to get behind them and help them. So therefore, when they go in there, they go in there lying to the people at child support. And my friend who used to work there for 3 years tells me this. He know that they're lying.
Well, the judges always prefer for the mother to take the child. And I know a lot of people where the female is a wacko.
Total wacko.
Right? But yet she goes into court and puts on this whole act. And, you know, the man or the husband doesn't take the time to really get his act together in showing proof, letters, or whatever to try to prove their argument. And so what happens is you walk into a courtroom and the judges are looking at both of you. And he ain't got much to say except my wife is a wacko, I don't want her having the kids. And the judge is looking at him, oh, well, where's your proof? And then the woman is sitting there, oh, crying, I love my kids and all that. And the judge sees that the guy isn't doing that, but the woman is, and somehow they get more sympathy for the mother.
But the judge fails to realize that the reason why that woman is crying because she's putting on this, because she's really the one that's at fault.
Yes.
The judge can't see that cry ain't nothing but a fake.
Well, of course, but the thing is, they don't care. They know they can know she's a fake, but the thing is, they don't care because, the courts don't care because one, she's getting, she's gonna get paid because the court is gonna reward her for getting child support. Number two, not to mention, if he fails to pay for it, the courts get paid because he's gonna end up in jail, you know, for being cheap labor. You know, part of the prison labor complex.
The best thing a guy can do when it comes to child support with these crazy baby mamas drama is when he send her, if he's under a court order to pay child support. Best thing he can do, pay the child support with a United States postal money order. Get you a shoebox. Keep your receipts in your shoebox. So if she ever want to take you to court saying you ain't gave her nothing, walk in the courtroom with a shoebox full of receipts and watch what that judge say to you. That's the best thing that they can do, Urban.
Or another way, just don't date single moms. Period. Point blank. Because they got laws in states now. I don't know if you heard they have laws in states now where a dude say if you were dating a single mom and you break up with her, she could have you put in court and have you pay child support. And
but that also depends on the age of the child. I had a stepchild, and you're right, I agree with you, don't date single moms, they're all a problem. And the kid, if he's old enough, is a rotten scoundrel, always reminding you you're not the father. But it depends on the age of the child. If the child basically was in your life, I believe the age limit is like 3 and down. Then, and if you're there for a few years, after you leave, then they can come after, but not like a 14-year-old and 15-year-old. That will not apply. By the way, let's see what Beer Sports Card seems to have this issue right in his face. The female's completely wrong for my kids, he says. She doesn't pick them up. Already pregnant with somebody else's baby, etc. It's all about the money. Plus, the female gets a free state-paid lawyer. You know, best way is to get a vasectomy.
Yeah. It also be careful about who you get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's wild. I have a lot of friends. Guys come to me and telling me, say, "Hey man, this girl's crazy, man. She threatening me. She want me to pay child support, but she won't even let me pick my child up and take him to Chuck E. Cheese. But she want the money. The reason why they're doing it, Irvin, because those girls out there, they're wanting that child support because.
Why don't you speak in the camera? Because we got Rosin out here, and she doesn't even know what the hell we're talking about.
They need to just be careful about who they messing with. You know, who they choose to mess with, because these girls, they will force you, literally force you to pay them money and use the baby as a tool to force you to do what you want to do.
That should be a red flag, right? Well, for the dude, I mean, I know we go off on the women, which because no one else does, because they be able to do this with impunity, because these baby mama drama. It seems like the villain from Lethal Weapon 2. They have that diplomatic immunity, you know. But the thing is, but you got to, just like you said, you really have to be careful. If you're dating a woman, she has kids and none of them have the same last name, that should be a red flag for you to get out.
Exactly.
To get out.
Exactly. Look, seriously. Guest 33 says wear a condom, then you won't have that problem.
That's true.
That's true. But at the same time, you got a lot of
poke
holes in condoms.
Yes, poke holes in condoms. If now poke holes in the condoms, they will actually have a turkey baster and suck the DNA out of that condom and inject it inside of me and impregnate it that way.
They will do it.
That's really desperate. But and again, punching a hole in a condom. I mean, the guy should be the one taking it out of the package and putting it on. Now you don't take a condom from a woman. And either way,
it may be already punched.
Either way, even if it's a condom that she's handing to you, take it from the package. But then again, they could insert the needle even through the package.
Exactly.
So you gotta watch. Anyway, Be a Sports Card says, money is the only reason my kids don't even want their mom. I have them 5 days a week. She has them maybe 2 at the most. And then Robin McCall says, don't have sex at all. No problem solved.
Guess says 62 says, Guess 62 says the judge. Guess when if does he's right. Definitely guard your condoms. Always get it. Earl, what's up, Earl? He says, don't do it, white lines. Okay, Grandmaster Flash, good quote. Gus 62 says, the judge doesn't care if you are the baby's biological father. The judge is looking to saddle anybody he can with a responsibility for that child.
Yeah, but you can fight that. I mean, look, that's ridiculous. The judge, yes, there have been cases where the judge does in fact, take child support from a father. But the questions that are going to be asked is, how much are you in this baby's life? Do you love this child like your own? And there's all sorts of questions that go on, and before that even happens.
Yeah.
They don't just saddle you with it.
Well, speaking of arguments, so maybe this guy should have took your advice or something, you know?
Well, he looks stupid.
Yeah. Man bites wife's butt during an argument, according to Palm Bay police. This is Palm Bay, Florida. A 30-year-old man was arrested in Palm Bay on allegations of biting his pregnant wife's butt during an argument in their car. Stefan Muse was arrested on charges of aggravated battery after Palm Bay police investigated the incident and found a visible bite mark on the woman's buttocks.
Is this you, Be a Sports Card? He says, I live in Palm Bay.
What did she do? If she was sitting in the car, what did she do?
That's what I'm trying to. Yeah, that's
what I'm trying to. Roll over and said, "Bite me."
Yeah, Palm Bay police said Muse and his wife got to a heated argument near the intersection of San Filippo Drive and Foundation Parkway. Police said the woman tried to get out of the car, but Muse restrained her and hit her on the arm before biting her. Muse was arrested and taken to Brevard County Jail.
So what did she do? I mean, I know he just didn't just all of a sudden just went off and started biting her. She had to do something to instigate that incident.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I don't know. Can you really call that self-defense? I don't know, man.
No.
Even if she is crap.
Yeah, it does. And Dumpster Baby says, Mike gave the best advice ever. Know the woman you're sticking your sausage in. Guys need to learn that banging a girl you don't even intimately know is stupid. And by intimately, I mean you know her personality and know she isn't a crackpot Also, wear a welly if you don't want kids.
Mm-hmm. And thoroughly check the condoms for holes in it before if you're gonna do something like that, because they will put a hole in it. Don't like Irv said, don't accept a condom from a woman because man already have a hole in it already.
Yeah,
defective. But yeah, that is a good question though. Did she say bite me and he did? Exactly. If she did, you are good.
I guess if you ever been to Two Palm Springs, you wouldn't be surprised by this. I guess this kind of crap goes on.
Yeah, speaking of more fights, it hasn't just stopped me just in the adult world. It seems going out in kindergarten as well.
Oh, Lord.
So as a brawl breaks out at Ohio kindergarten graduation.
What, the little kids got the
baby brawls.
In Cleveland, oh my goodness, in Cleveland. It says Cleveland police said they made 8 arrests after a brawl broke out at a kindergarten graduation.
Oh, there's parents.
Woo! Police say
soccer moms.
Police say a fight between 2 teenage girls Friday morning spread among adults and other teens in the crowd. No one was seriously injured, thank goodness. Police Commander Wayne Drummond said the brawl came near the end of the ceremony at the elementary school on Cleveland's east side. Drummond says it's not yet clear what led to the fight. Wow. Man, just uncivilized even in a kindergarten ceremony. Jeez. Just sad.
Well, speaking of other sad news, I want to know how the hell this can happen to you. Have you ever seen a street sweeper?
Yes.
How fast do they go?
Oh, what, 9, 10, maybe 11 miles an hour?
About 11 miles an hour. Imagine being run over by one of these.
Okay.
You got to be really stupid.
How can you get run over by them?
Well, here's the story.
You can walk faster than a street sweeper is going.
Here's a woman in Macon.
They got killed.
Who's dead. One woman is dead after she was hit by a street sweeper.
Okay.
At the intersection of Eisenhower Parkway and Key Street. That's right up the road.
Right.
That's according to the news release from Macon Police Department. She has been identified by Big Corner Leon Jones as 22-year-old Kenyatta Jones of Beach Avenue in Macon near Central High School.
I used to live on Beach Avenue.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I used to live on Beach Avenue.
Well, Jones said the accident happened just after 1 a.m. Police say Jones was in the right lane of the Eisenhower near Lucier's Furniture when she was hit. The woman was not carrying identification at the time of the accident, but was described as having the name Shay tattooed on her right arm and Derek on her left arm.
Oh,
Derek.
I don't know nobody. I don't know nobody.
Making police investigators. Busted, Derek.
Busted.
This is some
Macon police investigators interviewed the driver of the sweeper. The driver is not being charged at this time, according to the news release.
Why not?
And volunteered a blood sample.
Listen, Irvin, street sweepers, when they're in the street sweeper, they're sitting up high, so they can see. They up high just like you drive.
She was wearing all black in the area.
What does this happen at day or night?
At 1 a.m., so it was night.
1 a.m. at night.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Right.
Street sweepers have headlights on them. If that street sweeper is sitting up high like this, he can see down. Street sweeper didn't see where he was going.
Oh, okay.
You just do it out of there because it's the same thing.
Okay.
See what I mean? Okay. The street sweeper, he didn't pay attention.
Well, what about her? What about her? How the hell could she not see that gigantic thing coming at her at 9 miles an hour?
9 miles.
I mean, come on.
Because when they're doing their job, they're not going that fast.
She wasn't paying attention. You're right, Rosin. Maybe that's what it was.
Drunk.
She was either drunk, and they haven't mentioned that. They didn't say that in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe she couldn't hear the street sweeper coming and stepped out in the street.
You can hear that street sweeper coming because the thing that's sweeping the street is some kind of like little metal, just like a broom. But the thing is
okay, well, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was deaf. But how could you not see it? This thing is huge. It's like a big house coming at you.
That's true. Well, it's kind of like the mummy. I mean, the mummy moves so slow. I mean, you can run away, but you have just enough to pack a lunch before he runs away. I mean,
if you like the guy in Texas Chainsaw, watch it the other night.
I mean, yeah.
The way he walks, anybody can bring a
There's more to it than that story.
Yeah, well, Rosalind's defending us. She said, well, maybe she was deaf and blind. What the hell is she doing out at night near a highway at night?
And she's blind.
If she's blind.
She's not blind. She's not deaf.
No, she's blind drunk. That's what that is. That's the only. That's the only.
But the question is, do you know what Illusion Furniture is? It's right behind Academy Sports. 2 buildings behind Academy Sports. That's 1 o'clock in the morning. That's over there by the Save-A-Lot grocery store on Eisenhower, right down the street.
Lucia's.
The question is, what is she? If she's a teenager, not teenager, she's an adult. What is she doing out at 1 o'clock in the morning in that area?
Well, she wasn't. She wasn't old. She was young. We got pictures of it. And by the way, Tom says, well, it's of course she's a woman. Of course, 95%. He says of the times I hear a report of someone walking under a tram in my country, it's a woman. I kept record. There's only one report of an elderly man amongst it.
But it can't be. It had been like before before Academy Sports, because if you ever been there, even at 1 o'clock in the morning, that place, that parking lot is well lit. That place is very well lit. You have to be. I mean, you have to be part of Secret Service or some type of some part of mercenary group to actually.
Was she walking on Eisenhower or was she walking in a parking lot?
She was walking on Eisenhower off of that street.
Okay, so it could have been on.
I mean, he wasn't going to be in a parking lot. He cleans the streets, so it would be crazy for her to be walking in a parking lot and not see that thing coming. But it's just as crazy as her being on the street.
You know, it's more to it than that right there. That story. There's more to it, man.
Well, I guess that she was sleepwalking. Maybe she was sleepwalking.
No, she wasn't sleepwalking.
Probably so.
Well. It didn't say that.
It's sad that it happened to her, but there's more to it. Somebody's not giving the full details.
Well, I guess an autopsy will not reveal that. They're not going to know what was going on in her brain.
It's a very well-lit parking lot, so it can't be anywhere near the vicinity of Academy Sports, because it is very well lit.
No, listen, it's also wide open. There are no bushes or trees or nothing like that. If that street sweeper is coming down Eisenhower and she's walking, how far in front of the street sweeper was she before she got killed?
Wow.
If she was a far enough distance in front of her, that person who was driving that street sweeper saw her. Had to. Well, there's no way you can miss her. Because that area is wide open. You can see in all directions. The only trees is on the other side of Eisenhower, on the side like you're fixing to go towards southwest. And there are fences right there, neighborhood. This side over here is nothing but parking lots and businesses. You might have a little ditch on the side, but that's it. There's no big trees or nothing. The person that was driving that thing saw that girl. Had to. There was no way you could miss her.
Well, Guest 45 says she just finished watching Walking Dead and thought she was in the show and forgot to open her eyes. Dumpster Baby says they tried to do an autopsy, but the body was cleaned of all evidence.
Well, you know Walking Dead's filmed here in Georgia. Where do you think it was filmed?
Wow. Well, since I'm gonna go ahead and get it over with, go and knock it out. Go and get
Let's
into
get
sports.
our sports.
Yes. Over in Dublin, Ohio, most of the perks came from winning the memorial race. Well, evident to Matt Kuchar. Soon he won his 21st birdie putt into the final hole.
This is golf, folks, right? Those of you that don't know sports, this is golf. The most boring freaking sport you can come up with, and everybody wants to play it. Go ahead.
Yes. He went beyond the green, looked beyond the 18th green, where 3-year-old son Carson was giving a high five to tournament host Jack Nicklaus. He had the first multiple win season of his PGA Tour career. Kuchar went to career best number 4 in the world ranking. He is all but assured of returning to Murfield Village in October as part of the President's Cup team, and that's pretty much for at least for golf, for that matter. There was a good there was a race. I think it was on Fox last. I think it was it was on Fox. Monster Mile victory gives Stoney Stewart the new life. There was the race that on Fox. It was for the FedEx 400. There was a brand new race they had sponsored by FedEx. So they made a whole lot of money on that.
It used to be Sprint, and there's some other ones there.
Yeah, and I think it was Stewart's first Dover win since 2000. He breaks his losing streak. So Johnson jumped to restart. That's what I guess what killed him in the lead.
So they can hear you.
Oh, okay.
But they can't see you.
Well,
okay.
But it looks pretty good on this end.
But at least
it's gonna go off. It's like there's like a lag.
But since then, it's been
we're
some.
Gonna have Fred again. God dang
Fred
talk about the Heat game tonight.
The Heat game. Yes, the Heat game is going to be a wing dang dinner. It's Game 7. Game 7. The Indiana Pacers.
Do or die.
Do or die. Indiana Pacers versus Miami Heat in Miami. Game 7. There's no more excuse on this one. These boils down to 4 words: win or go home. That's pretty much it. So whoever wins this game will be the ones who are going to be facing San Antonio Spurs for the NBA Finals, which will be coming up on ABC June the 6th, which will be this coming Thursday. This upcoming Thursday.
Not bad.
Okay. As for hockey, I think they had the first game between Boston Bruins versus the Pittsburgh Penguins at Pittsburgh. I think that game is going to be playing actually tonight in about 9 hours from now, so it'll be 8 o'clock on NBC. They had the first game last night, night before last. Boston beat Pittsburgh 3-0 at Pittsburgh. The game 2 is also going to be at Pittsburgh tonight at 8 o'clock. Game 3 is going to be on Wednesday, June 5th. They're going to be in Boston. Pittsburgh going to be playing Boston. Game 4.
I like hockey. They let you fight.
4. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they definitely let you fight.
Beat each other's brains out.
Yeah, so far the series is 1-0 right now. So we'll see what happens on the Eastern side. This is the Eastern Conference Finals for this one, and whoever goes out, they have to play who's going to win between the LA Kings and the Chicago Blackhawks on the Western Conference. Far as that, so far, actually the Chicago Blackhawks won their game last night. They won Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, Stanley Cup Finals, West Conference between the Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago beat LA 4-2, so they got the lead right now, 1-0 lead. They have another game. When's the next game? I think it's also. Yeah, it's also tonight at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock on NBC Sports.
Local sports.
Yes, local sports.
What's going on with local sports in Macon? Did the Bears win? Or did
that's a good question. Yeah.
In Starksville.
Yes, that's a good question. I'm glad you said that because they had something about that on WGXA about the.
They had lost the first game. I think it was 9-4. And they were playing an elimination game between. They were waiting to see who was going to win. Two other teams were playing.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Speaking of sports, this is local sports.
They were eliminated. Mercer.
Yeah, Mercer eliminated. Jonathan Davis scored the go-ahead run on a throwing error in the 11th inning in extra innings to lead the Central.
They lost on the error.
Yeah. But to lead them 6-5 victory over Mercer in extra innings.
You know what? This is something that's dear to my heart. I love Mercer. I'm work with Mercer in the sports department. That job that Craig Gibson is doing is absolutely wonderful.
Oh yeah,
Mercer is a very, very, very good team. They have a lot of support. A lot of people come out.
Not just baseball, but basketball, but baseball.
Baseball, basketball as well,
and also football is coming up.
Yeah, football is coming up August the 31st is the first game.
They all have the same mascot, right?
Well, yeah, Toby the bear. Toby is like an iconic bear.
Why is a bear the one that is a mascot? Were there bears here in Georgia?
I can't remember. They told me how that they got that mascot, but I can't remember right now. But Toby, he's just a general. Mascot for all the sports.
Just for that school, just like Georgia has the Bulldogs and Georgia Tech has the Yellow Jackets, right?
Right. And it's there. The baseball team is really good. But coming up next season, once the stadium is built, starting this summer, they haven't had the official press conference, but they're starting to build a new baseball complex on Mercer's campus.
Mercer's buying up everything.
Yes.
They're taking over every house. They're taking over every building, and now They're taking over a lot of land. Isn't Mercer a 501?
I'm not sure.
That's what I hear.
Well, sports is a big money maker, particularly in college universities. In the NCAA, it's definitely, especially since Georgia's in the SEC. I don't know if Mercer is what conference Mercer's in, but I'm quite sure it's going to be a money maker for Mercer as well.
Mercer plays Georgia.
Okay.
In basketball and baseball.
Okay.
Mercer also plays Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Oh yeah. Notre Dame is independent. They're not in their. They're in their own.
Is this
conference.
NCAA, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but going back, I want to make correction. It's they have the Blackhawks have a 2-0 lead in the conference series. So if the Chicago keeps up, they probably might go to the Stanley Cup. They may have a chance to go all the way because they were like 3-1. They're 1-3 against the Detroit Red Wings, and they came back to win it in Game 7. So they may have a chance to take it all the way. Matter of fact, Game 3 is tomorrow night. Chicago versus Los Angeles, and they're going to be in Los Angeles. Do you think LA Kings will be able to come back and win it at home? Probably. Tie it up.
We'll have to wait and see.
I guess I have to wait and see, definitely. And don't forget the Miami Heat versus the Pacers game that's going to be on tonight at ABC.
Y'all watch it, because I won't be
Game
watching
7 is win or go home.
I won't be watching it.
Hey, anything else in sports?
That's pretty much all I have in sports.
Great. What do we got? We have Wordsmith coming up, or what do we have?
Yeah, we have Wordsmith and already...
And who said it first?
Yeah, he's going to do the Wordsmith, I'll do the You Said It First.
Okay, good. So let's do Wordsmith, and we're going to add... Did you pick one out, or we're going to pick it out?
I already picked one out. I just ran it.
I posted it on Facebook, Wordsmith, like 2 minutes later, 55 people already seen it.
Okay.
So
and
people are watching.
On page 140, randomly picked on page 149, entry number 3, the word of the day is cucumber. Cucumber, yes. English acquired this word as cucumber, C-U-C-U-M-E-R, by direct borrowing from Latin cucumber, which may originally have been a word of some pre-Italic Mediterranean language. The form spelled with a B did not appear until the 15th century. It seemed to have been a blend of Middle English cucumber and Old French cucumbre, C-O-U-C-O-M-B-R-E, which itself ultimately derived from Latin cucumber. Spellings based on the Old French form led to a pronunciation of the first syllable as cow, which persisted until the early 19th century. So it used to be cowcumber. So now it's evolved into cucumber. And that's the word of the day.
There you go. Cucumbers. You were speaking prostitution earlier. Cucumbers.
Yeah. More or less.
Oh, by the way, I got a link where Yirak is sending me about street sweeper death in Washington. Police are investigating Thursday how a pregnant woman was killed by a street sweeping truck. This was back in 2000. That swallowed her in its brushes and knocked aside a 4-year-old daughter who suffered minor injuries. The woman, Clarissa Soto, 29, was crossing the street on Wednesday when she was stuck and pulled under. Soto, the mother of 3, was pregnant when she was killed. You'd be surprised how many people are killed with suicide.
I just don't understand. How can you get killed by a street sweeper? As much noise as a street sweeper makes, you can hear a street sweeper halfway down the street coming. How can you get killed by a street sweeper? They sit up high, which means they can see. They are not paying attention. Bottom line.
Yeah, but
it's not the person's fault.
It's like, how do people get hit by a train? You hear it coming a miles away. You see the lights going ding, 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 ding. You see the lights and they got the barriers and stuff. They put the barriers down before the train even come to you, and people, bam, still
even
get
if
hit.
they don't have a barrier.
Well, here's another way you could die from a street sweeper. This is another story in Jacksonville, Florida. Friday morning, a man cleaning the Arlington Piccadilly parking lot was killed when part of the street sweeper he was operating crushed him. Police said the equipment became clogged, and when the worker went to unjam the machine, a piece of it fell on him, crushing him to death.
How about that?
They ought to
Great Google.
They ought to ban street sweepers.
Ban street sweepers, so you're just gonna have funky streets all day.
Whatever happened to the guy that used to walk around with a broom and a garbage can?
They still downtown Macon.
They do that now.
Yeah, but they don't do shit. And they walk around with the garbage can and the thing, and they're just so garbage
You might see
everywhere.
them you might see them every now and then picking up something.
Okay.
Maybe.
You want me to go ahead and say who said it first?
Yeah, let's do who said it first. We got 5 minutes.
Okay, since we're already here. Okay. Who said it first? This is basically the phrase is comes to the crunch. And it says
comes to the crunch.
Yeah, that's the phrase. Who said that?
When it comes to the crunch.
Yeah.
Like
Get
nuts.
Captain Crunch.
Oh, you're nuts.
In 1939, Sir Winston Churchill introduced the idea of the crunch as a noun and a metaphor when he referred to political troubles in Spain, depending upon the general adjustment or the outcome of the European crunch. The image caught on and underwent a slight development with comes to the crunch, and with alliterations like credit crunch and substitute synonyms as pinch or clutch and squeeze. So basically, that's where we get come to the crunch from. Well, at least derivative of it.
From what I can see from Iraq, all these posts there, we need to ban street sweepers. It seems like they're they go on a rampage.
Yeah, but if she got swallowed up on one, she had been a really petite woman or something. Or
well, this one earlier this month, a Manhattan man was fatally struck by a street sweeper at the corner of Flatbush and Atlantic Avenue. I know exactly where that is. In Brooklyn. Now his family says they want to know how much of an accident could have happened.
I don't understand that. That's something that I can never.
He slipped in front of the sanitation sweeper.
Somebody pushed him
by Barclays Center. Well,
I still don't understand that.
You shouldn't stand too close, by the way, because that stuff actually spits up a lot of stuff. So if you see a street sweeper coming down the block,
you're gonna hear it.
Not only hear it, stay behind it. I mean, or stay get the hell away from it. That shit is knocking up garbage and dust and pebbles.
I still say that the people that are driving those street sweepers are reckless. They sit up high. You can see them. They can see the people. They are not paying attention to what they're doing. Bottom line.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention.
Then I bet, like Rosalind Nicole, she says, I stepped in front of a street sweeper. Well, you're still here.
Thank goodness.
Why? Did she get out of the way? Because she heard it.
Yeah.
Well, she couldn't. She's deaf. She must have saw it.
So she's deaf. Okay. Well, she saw it, and she got out of the way.
Wow.
Street sweepers don't kill people. People kill people. Next thing you're gonna ban brooms too. Like, hey.
Just like they say, guns kill. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Bullets kill.
People kill. We've had this argument before.
Wow.
Anyway, we got 2 minutes. We're gonna do Daily Bread.
I probably might save this story for tomorrow because I don't want to go into that.
And we'll continue looking at street sweeping issues tomorrow.
Okay.
We're gonna sweep that under the rug and move on to our Daily Bread.
All right.
And this is known as Wise Words by Dennis Fisher. Now in my 60s, I reflect back on the wise spiritual leaders who had a positive impact on my life. In Bible school, God used the Old Testament professor to make the Word come alive. My Greek teacher relentlessly employed high standards to goad my study of the New Testament. And the senior pastor in my first pastoral ministry shepherded me in building vital ministries to help others grow spiritually. Each of these teachers encouraged me in different ways. King Solomon wisely observed some of the ways that spiritual leaders can help us grow. The words of the wise are like goads, and the words of the scholars are like well-driven nails, given by one shepherd in Ecclesiastes 12:11. Some teachers prod us, others build solid spiritual structures into our lives. Still others, as caring shepherds, are there with a listening ear when we hurt. The Good Shepherd has given leaders a variety of gifts, exhorting, developing, and shepherding, whether we're a leader or a learner, though. He desires that we maintain humble hearts and a love for others. What a privilege to be led and used by our shepherd to encourage others in their walk with him. Give us the wisdom we need, Lord, to encourage others in their spiritual walk. We know we need your Spirit's power to do that. Use the gifts you have given us to help others along their journey. May our words reflect of God and His wisdom. And the scripture you read, and it says in Ecclesiastes 12:11, the word of the wise are like goads, and the words of the scholar are well-driven nails given by one shepherd. There you have it.
And there you go. And it's 11 o'clock. How
right
about
on the
that?
nose.
Yes. Yes, indeedy.
Right on the schnozola.
Yes, indeedy. And could you believe that? Is how fast this show went by, man. I just want to thank all of our chatters.
You're having fun.
Oh yes, definitely. I want to thank all of our chatters. DS Photo Guy, Earl Big Skillet, thanks for coming by. Rosalind Nicole, Yurik Wildcat, thanks for coming by. Ellen Macon, Funky Dillo, Hey J31, Howling Wolf, Shawty Brave 72, Snow Sparks, Tom, Guest 18, Guest 25, Guest 29, Guest 337, Guest 408, Guest 457, Guest 471, Guest 508, Guest 567, Guest 628, Guest 673, Guest 678, and Guest 943.
Thank you.
Woo! Boy, that's a mouthful.
That's
a whole heap of guests.
Yeah, and we had a couple people drop out, but not bad.
Yeah, Donnie Kerr was here earlier, and Saibuka was here
and
earlier.
Edwin Mampa was here as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, even though it's supposed to be raining later today, it's 72 degrees outside.
Muggy.
Yeah, very muggy, with a high of 86 and a low of 69 degrees.
I want to thank our co-host, Michael. Michael, you coming back tomorrow?
I'm going to try my best.
Okay, that sounds good. You're
welcome
anytime.
Thank you for coming in with us. Want to give a shout out?
Yeah, we can always use a third host.
We need to talk about city issues.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot more about it, but what I like to do is go out with you, and we're going to go to some of these places you were talking about.
Yeah.
Take some film, and then come back. Ed will put it up, and we can talk about it again. Yeah. Guest 72 says, come back again, Mike.
I sure will give 72-1.
Yes, and I hope you come back tomorrow for Crazy Tuesday, because I got a wing dang doodle of a story for you tomorrow about a Maryland teacher. Don't say
the rest of it.
Oh my God!
Don't say the rest of it.
Now they're gonna Google it and get the news before you.
Nah, don't worry about it.
They don't know. I didn't go into detail.
That's another good one we need to come up with. Spill the beans.
We gotta go.
I have to come up with that. Spill the beans.
Spill the beans.
Well, anyway, I'll see you all guys tomorrow. I'm gonna get me a big bowl of Cheerios and celebrate.
Put them on your chest.
I'm not getting no Cheerios.
Make a necklace out of them.
I'm getting me some Frosted Flakes with some cold milk.
Yeah, make a necklace out of
it. You never did that in kindergarten? In kindergarten, I did one of Fruit Loops, and I was sweating. Oh, they got so sticky.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
All right, guys. Love you. Thank you again for stopping in.
See you tomorrow.